Just hearing these names makes you think money and the hundreds of millions of dollars, pounds or Saudi riyals in boxing. But that's at the top. At the bottom, it isn't quite the same. Even for those on the rise, there's not an awful lot of cash in the boxing world. And if you're just starting out, well, it can be a very costly exercise indeed. But don't take my word for it. Here's the former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver.
You're turning professional and you're boxing, let's say, York Hall on a non-televised fight. You have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets, you effectively have to pay to fight.
A far cry then from Jake Paul facing Mike Tyson in 2024, when the purse was reported to be around £48 million. But the vast amounts of cash lining the top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream. And, you know, there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against a real prospect, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to the world's biggest sports radio station. It is talkSPORT. My name is Max Rushden. Alongside me, Barry Glendenning for the warm-up until 1:30. Welcome, Barry.
Hello, Max. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. I felt a little bit like a TV newsreader there because I was writing something down, and then I looked up and I saw I was on the screen for the benefit of, of anyone who isn't watching on all the usual platforms, specifically a television. And I looked, because I often, when newsreaders finish their bulletin and then, back in the old days before they had laptops, they'd write something on a sheet of paper and then put the lead back on their pen. And I often wondered, what are they writing? Or are they writing is it just for effect to make them look more intelligent?
Or quite a good thing to do is to take, your ream of A4 paper and just sort of tap it in just vertically.
You see, I have a ream or running order. Well, is 4 pages a ream?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a ream. I think a ream is 500, isn't it? But you have 4 pieces of paper. That constitutes the whole programme, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's already stapled together, so I don't really need to tap it.
No.
but I will.
What is exciting for the viewers is that for some reason, unless whoever's managing the cameras really hates me, it's all on you at the moment. Yeah. I don't know if there is an issue, but I can see you, you can see me. I think so. That's a promising sign. But exciting.
Maybe they just think I'm prettier to look at.
Well,
which is, I would say, a damning indictment on your appearance.
I don't spend a lot of time wondering who is better looking between the two of us, but so I'm making no comment on it. It's not for me to say. But maybe this is a great opportunity if you haven't yet gone to YouTube or your smart TV. And the reason that you don't watch this show is because you hate my face, which is understandable. Many people do. I understand it. Many people have said it's a sort of punchable face. Then this is your chance. This is a 100% Barry special, which is very exciting.
I'm now incredibly self-conscious.
Don't be self-conscious.
And
just stare down the barrel of the camera.
I was going to be hogging the screen specifically, and I would have made more of an effort. I might.
Oh, I see.
I'm just wearing a t-shirt and a hoodie.
Yes. For the listeners, he's just wearing a bin bag as normal. But what you need to do is look down the barrel of the camera, really eyeball it and say, and I'm Trevor McDonald. I'm Trevor McDonald, and this is the news. Do you want to try that?
Yeah. I'm Trevor McDonald, and this is the news.
Really good. That's very impressive. I suspect ITV will come calling. News at 10 with Barry Glendenning. The thing is about news bulletins, I think, Barry, is you can't at the end of each news story just go, and I don't care. I just don't think you're allowed to. That's not really the vibe of you're not allowed to have that sort of opinion.
Newsreaders don't really have opinions. They just deliver the news. It's up to you to form your own opinion.
No, I understand.
Here you are.
There I am. I've been popped into the screen. I mean, this is very annoying for people who still listen to the radio, so our apologies. Can I, I mean, Charlie will obviously do this when he's next on, but Torquay played Hornchurch yesterday. I don't know if you've seen this, Barry.
I have not. I'm pretty certain
in the National League. In the National League South playoff final.
Okay.
They're away to Hornchurch. Hornchurch finished second, Torquay finished third in the table. Torquay take the lead after 6 minutes. Okay, they're 1-0 up until the 45th minute. They concede a penalty. So a terrible time to score to concede, isn't it? Just on the stroke of half time.
I would say any time conceding at any time in a playoff final is a bad time to concede.
You're right. But this is a bad time. On the stroke of half time, you're 1-0 up, get in, nothing silly next 5. They concede on the stroke of half time. Torquay take the lead with 12 minutes to go. You can touch the National League. You can touch promotion. Hornchurch equalise 90+2. Oof. We're in extra time. There's one more goal. It's for Hornchurch in the 117th minute. Congratulations to Hornchurch. Yes, Barry?
Was Charlie there at the game?
I think he was delivering the news on his Virgin Radio show.
Ah, okay.
But, Charlie, you have our commiserations as you're part of the warm-up family. But well done to Hornchurch. What do you make of Spygate, Barry?
Well, I heard you and Charlie talking about it yesterday, and I'm largely in agreement with you that it is highly amusing. Just the notion of a Southampton analyst. Are we still saying allegedly, or have they pretty much accepted that is happening?
I don't know. The story, as I understand it right now, is they are claiming, and this may be true, that he is a lone wolf.
Yes, a lone
wolf. What do you think? Do you think they're at the training going, "Where's Alan?
Yeah.
Where's? I'm sure he's meant to be in."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I've got a great idea." Yeah. So that is, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, carry on.
So yeah, just the idea of this guy hiding in a shrub in a bush with his binoculars and his phone and probably thinking, I'm doing this for the lads. This is a good idea. And then him getting caught, he apparently refused to identify himself, tried to change his appearance in the toilet of a nearby bar or something, golf club. I have this image of him coming out with, a false moustache. Or, those comedy joke shop disguise kits, the glasses and the nose and the moustache. And so, yeah, it's very funny. on the face of it, but I totally get why Middlesbrough are very annoyed about it. I think,
of course,
Ton Eckert, who I have tremendous amount of regard for as a young and up-and-coming coach, I think he handled his press conference yesterday, post-match, incredibly badly by refusing to address the trumpeting herd of elephants in the room.
We've got it. We'll play it a bit later. We're chatting to Ben Fisher in an hour. But yeah, and the press officer was a bit spiky.
Yeah,
no,
well,
obviously it's not the press officer's fault. So,
well, it's not the press officer's fault. It seems like it's not Ton Eckert's fault, but Ton Eckert needs to address the issue, and the press officer needs to advise him on how best to address or not address the issue. Now, they may well both have been obeying orders from on high. I don't know. But if that was the case, then he would say, look, I would love to talk to you about this. It needs to be discussed, but I have been told not to until the investigation is over. And that would be fine. But he just sort of parroted this line about, well, the club put out a statement and that's enough, blah, blah, blah. And then it's being reported that he stormed out of the press conference. I would say he got up and left the room.
It was very much like he was the schoolboy and the press officer was the teacher. But we've been through this. We've had all of break time to talk about spying, and now I've got marking to do. So if you will ask these questions, we're all going to stay late. But yeah, he was really.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when Marcelo Bielsa, when one of his staff got caught spying on Derby County, not only did he not refuse to talk about it, he gave the longest press conference in the history of public relations. It was so long that, like, I think reporters they had to leave because they had copy to file. And he put on a video demonstration. He had spreadsheets. He spoke for like 2.5 hours about it. And he admitted he shouldn't have done it, but his excuse was, well, at home we do it all the time. No one has a problem with it. So it will be interesting to see what happens to Southampton, if they are found guilty, which seems likely. And I kind of agree with Kim Hellberg. Is a fine enough? You know, who gets the fine? Who gets the money? Will they get, if they get promoted, will they get dock points next season? If they don't get promoted, will they get dock points next season? And there is a slim chance that they could get thrown out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And it's not the players,
Yeah, it's not
Kim
the players' fault.
Hellberg spoke really well, actually. It's not the fans. The fans haven't been saying, please go and spy. The players presumably haven't said, I tell you what will be useful, will be spying. Do you think the players, because also lots of people are saying, well, maybe they've done this every game this season. Do you think during games then, players are like, that's weird. How did he know that they were going to do this? He's like, this manager is a genius. They're like, how did he know he's going to run down there? I mean, as somebody else pointed out, you could have just watched Middlesbrough 46 times this season to have a vague idea what they're going to do.
I'm not sure what the benefit of spying is, because the risk-reward ratio, the risk of getting caught vastly outweighs the reward of, knowing what they're going to do with corners, I think.
Yeah. But also, if you are hiding in a bush, unless he's like a brilliant cameraman, it's quite hard to get a good angle, isn't it? Like, there might be the footage might have quite a lot of shrubbery around it. Like, what are you actually...
Well, I think
how good was...
You raise an interesting point. In the week of Sir David Attenborough's 100th birthday, and you can't move for Attenborough documentaries and Attenborough best bits on the TV. He was quite good at hiding in bushes, getting
that's true.
Good footage. That was very educational.
True, that is true. But like sometimes they'd say, and we spent 600 days in a hide to catch the snow leopard. Now, this poor Southampton coach can't have spent a year and a half in a training near the Middlesbrough training ground on the off chance to see one Middlesbrough player. He was there when Juninho was doing his trick. He's been there for that much time. Anyway, look, if they're found guilty, Hellberg was right. It's cheating. Like, it's funny to us, but it is the integrity of the game, if that exists. There's lots of ways of cheating in football, I guess. Lots of players cheat. They're all trying to bend the rules, but this is cheating if they are found guilty, if they've done it. And, I like the idea of just here's your getaway car. Here's your... Who's driving the Francis Benali in the getaway car. Anyway.
Francis Benali would not lower himself to that kind of chicanery.
Yeah,
let's just get that straight.
No. I don't want to throw Benali under the bus with all of this. This is the warm-up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With Pay As You Go Higher from Travis Perkins. You don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. We'll do a Premier League review in just a second.
Content creator and Palace fan Ollie Thomas is with us this morning. A very good morning to you, Ollie. How are you?
Morning, Ollie.
Morning. I'm good. I'm a bit tired, as you can imagine, but I'm good. And thanks, Dean. You're right. We are the best fans in the world.
It's debatable, Ollie. I'm joking. I have a soft spot for Palace. My sister plays for Palace. They just got promoted, and fair play to them. Your manager. The fact that he is leaving and he might win a third trophy before he goes is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's obviously sad that he's going, but I think it could have turned a bit sour and did turn a bit sour at the start of the calendar year. And fair play to Steve Parish, who held his own and didn't sack him. And it's now kind of become a nice send-off. And I think everyone wants to win it for Glasner as well, rather than it being like a bitter goodbye, I suppose. I think we've channeled that departure really well. And yeah, I'm feeling confident. It's weird watching a Palace team that just repeatedly turns up in big games. Like, I'm just not used to it. Every single big game we've basically ever had under Glasner, we've turned up, played really well. So hopefully we can do it one more time.
Why do you think he's leaving the club? I'm trying to work it out myself. Because he must realise that
wasn't
Palace
guaranteed. They got rid of the best players and they didn't replace them. And he'd won trophies, and they still hadn't got that right. Would that be it, Ollie? Would you think he was frustrated with how the club has been run?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he basically did exactly the same thing when he was at Wolfsburg and Frankfurt. Like, the timelines are very similar in terms of he comes to a club, starts really well, does really well, and then falls out with the board. And he's been obviously very open about the fact that he didn't think we should have sold Eze, didn't think we should have sold Gahey, or at least when we sold them.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How did you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
It missed everybody and snuck in off the post, and Chelsea are level, and Enzo Fernandez has scored. Chelsea will be able to say they've snapped their losing run, but the Liverpool fans aren't happy. It's finished at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1.
Well, it's taken a while after those 2 goals in the first 5 minutes, but finally it's Brighton 3, Wolves 0, Yankuba Minter is the goal scorer.
It's now 10-man Fulham 0, 10-man Bournemouth 0. Joachim Andersen has been sent off, and it's another VAR check.
It's a strange decision from Anderson to dive in and make that kind of tackle.
Feeling around the stadium alike from Sunderland, that was more like it on home soil. It's not the win they wanted, but it was a very pleasing performance. On us even here then, Sunderland 0, Manchester United 0.
I think there's individual players now stand out like sore thumbs that are not going to be good enough moving forward if United are going to actually challenge for that Premier League title next season.
It's Fulham 0, Bournemouth 1, Ryan with the opener, and this is some goal.
There's every chance Bournemouth could be in the Champions League next season.
Omar Mamouche, only his second Premier League goal of the season, has sealed this one. 3 goals, 3 points surely for Manchester City. Means that City are 2 points behind Arsenal. Both had 3 to play.
That's how the Premier League sounded yesterday. William Sheffield's been in touch, Barry. Francis Bernali might not stoop to such lows. But having seen Egil Ostenstadt dive at Sinsel Bank for a penalty in a Coca-Cola Cup tie, my money would be on him as the getaway driver. And there was a text to the previous show, so I think we're allowed to read it. I don't know how seriously you take football. This one said, I can understand club football because it doesn't really matter. This is regards, I think, maybe the spying, I'm not sure. But he says, but when you journalists sabotage your own country by displaying their tactics to help other countries, it is treason, he says, which I think is perhaps taking it a step too far.
I do think it's a bit too far. Yeah, Henry and Sean were discussing this on their show, and they were quite openly admitted that they used to spy on England training. I'm not sure if they spied on other people's training. And then you see and report on stuff. So I've always found that a bit odd. That I don't know if it happens in other countries. I don't think that would happen in Ireland. I don't think Irish journalists would sort of, for want of a better word, sabotage their own team by reporting formations or lineups or whatnot before the game. I might be wrong, but I don't ever remember it happening in Ireland.
No, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't be bothered to do it, but treason is perhaps a step too far.
But some journalists
I wouldn't send Henry
value
Winter
the
to prison
scoop more than over everything, and that's fair enough. I suppose it's entirely a matter of personal choice.
If it is treason, are Sean and Henry, do they broadcast from the studio, or they're
in the Tower of London, awaiting execution?
Should we do a Premier League review?
Oh, well, yeah, we better. What else will we do the next half
Premier League review on talkSPORT.
Pete the Blackburn fan says Egil Ostenstadt would get caught offside as a getaway driver. Forever offside, he says.
Yeah. Thanks also to whoever texted in saying that, pointing out that a certain other team has been cheating systematically for the last 20 years and nothing has happened to them.
Well, we don't know that for sure. We will find out in due course. And when I say in due course, maybe in
long after we're both dead.
Exactly. Should we start the Etihad then, Barry? Man City 3, Brentford 0. What have I made of this game? I mean, it's good that the title race is going to the wire, at least, to the point where, Arsenal will have to win on the final day. Jeremy Doku
I'm
is
not
excellent.
sure they will, Max.
You don't think so?
No. Don't think City will win their
against
next
Bournemouth?
game.
Is that Bournemouth?
Yeah, Bournemouth away.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's put a pin in that one then.
Yeah,
but,
sorry. Sorry to rain on your last day
No, that's
parade.
okay. Well, we'll get to Bournemouth in a sec because that's really interesting. But, this wasn't a fascinating football match. Jeremy Doku's having a really great season. He was brilliant again. Casey Kelleher, Queven Kelleher. Although it wouldn't be a bad goalkeeper if you fused together. If you cloned Casey Keller and Queven Kelleher. Yeah. He made one astonishing save from Phil Foden. And further to our speculation the other week, he may have just had twins, but that is the save of someone who is getting a full night's sleep, I would point out.
You reckon, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. And then I don't have much else to say about this game. Do you have anything further to add, Ben?
Well, Andy Morrison was in the crowd, former City captain. He played in that famous playoff game. I think he hasn't been well lately, so... he got the fans were serenading him, and you know the way Manchester United always have a youth team player on the bench or in their squad, for near every single game for the last 2,000 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think City should have a player from that playoff final in the crowd.
Nicky Weaver.
Every single game. Yeah.
It's a really good idea. How many of that starting 11 could you name?
I'd struggle a lot. Dickoff, I presume, started.
I'm going to say Kevin Horlock was there.
Nicky Summerby.
Nicky Weaver, of course. Nicky Summerby? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, well, I'll have a little Google while we're chatting about something else. I don't think Alan Kernahan would... I'm not sure he would have been there at that time. This is a good sort of two old men.
Yeah. I'm going
chatting
to
about
Google
nothing. Yeah, I'm Googling it at the moment. But look, while we do, you can't both be on Google during the radio show. We should have done this another time, shouldn't we? So anyway, what else do you want to talk about? Liverpool, Chelsea? What did you make of that one?
I enjoyed...
Here we go. It's all right. I've got it.
Okay.
Nicky Weaver,
right.
Lee Crooks, Richard Edgehill, Gerald Weekins, Andy Morrison, Kevin Horlock, Michael Brown, Jeff Whitley, Paul Dickoff, Sean Goater and Terry Cook, with Gareth Taylor, Tony Vaughan and Ian Bishop on the bench. There you go.
Right, I'm embarrassed I didn't get Sean Goater otherwise.
No. And from the Gillingham team, Andy Hessenthaler, of course, still playing for Gillingham. He's played for the last 2 centuries for them. So, Liverpool-Chelsea. I mean, Booze at the end.
Yeah.
Booze when Slot substituted Ngamoa. Said he had cramp. Do you feel with Arne Slot, it's a bit like Keir Starmer, isn't it? It's like, he's not a bad bloke. He's trying his best. It's not all his fault, but probably isn't going to last. I know it's not talk politics, but that's my view, given the week's news.
I am... vastly more impressed with the job Arne Slot has done at Liverpool than I am with the job Keir Starmer has done in number 10 Downing Street. So leave it at that. But I mean, it's slightly odd to hear Liverpool fans boo their team off in a game they haven't lost. I wouldn't say they disgraced themselves. They went ahead, and then kind of as soon as Chelsea equalised, Liverpool really retreated into their shell, and I think Chelsea could probably feel hard done by losing that game. I thought they were the better side for most of it, and considering they're a Chelsea team that whose mood seems to change, like the wind, but they went into that game having lost 6 in a row. They were there to be slapped down, and Liverpool couldn't beat them. So I don't really blame the crowd for booing. I'm not sure. I think Arne Slot probably will be in charge. I don't know whether he deserves another season. Probably. But
I think winning the league gives you some grace. It's hard to win the league. Not many people win the league. I know it all moves very fast and we all forget it. And then someone says, well, it was basically Jurgen Klopp. But he was still there. He still did stuff. But, I'm not a Liverpool fan. So I'm not watching it week in, week out. Clearly, he's made mistakes. I think he's had a tricky time of it for lots of reasons. But, the issue is, you keep him there and it doesn't start well next season. Then he goes and then you have another sort of season that doesn't quite work. But who knows, eh? We'll find out, won't we? All right, it's Max and Barry here on the warm-up. We'll do more Premier League review in just a second. This is brought to you by Travis Perkins with Pay-As-You-Go Hire from Travis Perkins. You don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk.
To join Arsenal was the biggest achievement in my career, but the way the things end up was a little bit not nasty. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. They are happy. They know, you know what, life goes on. If you ask me if I regret, I don't regret. But I'm happy also giving them something back, because at the end of the day, if I can't represent and defend my parents, I don't know who would do it for me. So it's kind of doing my job.
You're spot on, Emmanuel. I don't blame you at all. I would have done the same, mate.
Thank you.
Looking at the title race, Manchester City messing up against Everton. How do you think it's going to go? Who do you think will win it in the end?
Who do I think will win it? If you ask me today, I will still tell you that I think Man City will win it, but I would like Arsenal to win it, because it has been over a decade. They have been fighting for that even when I was there. We were fighting for it. Obviously, in April, then sometime in March and April, it's all over. And we drop points at Wigan, at Bolton, wherever you can call it. Then we saw the league sliding out of our hand. But this year, they're doing quite well. And the good thing is that defensively, they are very good. But now they have to win the last 3 games to win the league. And obviously, Man City, again, dropping points at Everton. They will come back stronger. They will manage with their manager, with the players, with the experienced team they had. They will do everything possible to win the last 3 games and wait for Arsenal to drop points so they can be champion. But trust me, it's not going to be an easy task for both of them. Let's see who win. But I wish, for the first time, I wish Arsenal wins it, because they have been working towards this for so long time.
Morning all, it is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry here until 1:30. Let's get team news from a couple of early kickoffs. Liverpool-Brighton in the Women's FA Cup semi-final. Matt Jones watching that for talkSPORT. Hey, Matt.
Hey, 2 changes for Liverpool as they bid to reach a first women's FA Cup final since the 1990s. Cornelia Kapocs is back from the injury that kept her out of last week's 1-0 defeat to Manchester City, while there's also a start for Kirsty McLean. Mia Enderby and Aurélie Chalage are the players to miss out. They're both on the bench. So Falks in goal, then a back four of Shamuzu, Fisk, Clark and Benabe. Nagano and O'Sullivan are the holding midfielders, with McLean, Kapocs and Holland behind Olsen up top. As for Brighton, they've made the long journey north on the back of a 6-game unbeaten run. The most recent of those was a draw with Arsenal, despite Dario Vidosic rotating his squad with an eye on today. 6 changes in total. Manuela Venegas, Kiko Seke, Maisie Simmons, Jelena Kankovic, Frank Kirby and Madison Haley all return. So goalkeeper Nadozi has a back four of Rule, Hayes, Minami and Venegas in front of her. Seki, Simmons, Kankovic and Olisages are in midfield, and Kirby has Haley alongside up top. It's Liverpool against Brighton for a place at Wembley.
Cheers, Matt. Now, the top of the Scottish Premiership looks like this. Hearts are top, 77 points from 36 games. They drew at Motherwell yesterday. Celtic have 73 from 35. They're home to Rangers today. David Tanner has the team news. Hey, David.
Hey, Max, and if Celtic win their last 3, they'll win the Premiership. That's what that table means. The only problem is Celtic haven't beaten Rangers or Hearts in the league this season. If they do win today, Celtic will move within a point of Hearts with 2 to play. Now, Martin O'Neill makes 1 change. Midfielder Luke McCowan is in for Sebastian Tunetke. Rangers Belgian international midfielder Nico Raskan is out with a muscle injury. Connor Barron returns. Danny Rowe makes a total of 3 changes to the team that flopped in the second half at Hearts. Andreas Skov Olsen was anonymous at Tynecastle. He's replaced by Oliver Antman for his first league start since November. Fit again, 2 Romans comes in for Dujon Sterling at left back. After back-to-back defeats, Rangers can still win the title if they win all 3 games and other results go their way, and maybe a snooker thrown in for good measure. It's the Old Firm game, kick-off at midday.
Do you think, David, Hearts would take a point? I mean, Motherwell's not an easy game. They've been really good this season.
Big time.
They had a penalty. I mean, I don't know what you thought of that decision, where the corner comes in. The ref was sent to the screen and he's stuck with his decision. It's so tough to call that one.
I think it is tough to call. I don't think it was a penalty. I think there was a coming together and then a dive. But difficult one. Who would be VAR? Who would be a referee trying to pick that one out? There was only really one good angle of it, which of course is always the difficulty with VAR, so a tough one. But listen, it's a good point. It's a good point, I think, for Hearts. They're still in control of their destiny, but Celtic are as well now. As I said there, if they win their 3 games, Celtic will be champions. So in this weird season of conflict at Celtic, with Brendan Rodgers fighting the board, with the fans fighting the board, with a new manager coming in, Oliver Nonsi, lasting 6 weeks, you know, and then Martin O'Neill coming off the bench twice to rescue things. It's incredible Celtic are in with a chance, let alone having it in their own hands. So it's been one of those seasons that anything could happen. My own view is it'll be a tragedy if a rotten Celtic team or a rotten Rangers team wins it and Hearts don't. But football is rarely fair, is it?
You're totally right, David. Thanks, pal. We'll get updates from David as and when anything happens there. Let's go into the Premier League review, Barry, because Bournemouth now are just 3 points behind Villa, who might be looking over their shoulder a bit. I know Villa go to Burnley today, right? So, you know, they would have to have a terrible end to the season. But they have got the Europa League final in between. You know, they've got Liverpool at home after that, and then City away, right? Bournemouth have City at home and Forest away. So there is a chance that Bournemouth could now sneak into the top 5?
Yeah, there is a chance. And them getting Champions League football will be an incredible achievement. I think nobody's under any illusions. Anthony Iraola has done a brilliant job with them. As our pal, the Spanish football expert Sid Lowe predicted he would. When he arrived, nobody knew much about him. This guy who'd managed Rayo Vallecano in the Spanish league. And Sid predicted exactly what would happen, that he would get off to a very slow start because players take a while to get used to his ideas and his philosophy. And I think Bournemouth did start quite badly under him, maybe 9-10 games before they won. And But what Sid said would happen did happen. Once the penny dropped with the players, they were fantastic. Like, he lost his entire defence last summer. And
yeah, it was just Tavernier who stayed, right?
Yeah.
Keeper went, centre back, left back.
Yeah. So it's a credit to the recruitment department as well, I guess. And for a team like that, who playing in a stadium with 12,000 capacity, to if they were to qualify for the Champions League, would be an incredible achievement. I do wonder, and I don't know the answer to this question, would the Vitality Stadium be fit for Champions League purpose? Or is it big enough? I don't know.
I read something about this. All I read was they will have to make some changes to something. I can't remember what it was.
Right, so there will be allowed to play there.
But the money they will make will more than compensate. But that doesn't. I'm not totally answering your question. You're right. It's a thought that you had last week, and neither of us have thought to check.
Yeah. Which yeah. Well, I'm a bit like Areola. It takes me a while to get going. In 8 or 9 weeks' time, I will have found out the answer to this question.
I was going to say,
and it may no longer be a valid question.
Yeah. If listeners are still trying to get to grips with Barry and the personality that is Barry, he's a slow start. It's a slow burn. Yeah. So I know these 14 years have been tough, but if you give it another 10 years...
I will hit my stride sometime in the next
time Halley's Comet passes. That'll be when it really clicks.
I think that's 2060 something that's due around again.
Okay, well, look, just hang on in there until then. What was I going to say? I mean, Joachim Andersen, what are you doing? Because the Ryan Christie challenge is bad.
Yeah.
And you have 10 v 11. And what are you doing? Like, it's just a complete brain fade from Andersen. That changes the game, doesn't it? And that gives Bournemouth the chance to be where they are, I guess. But Ryan's been such a brilliant signing. Takes that so early. Such a brilliant goal. Well done to Bournemouth.
I mean, I think Bournemouth was a little bit lucky in that Josh King shot right at the end. He leathered the ball off the underside of the crossbar. That could have just as easily bounced the other side of the goal line. So that, they dodged a bullet there. But they're great value for their position in the league.
Brighton beat Wolves 3-0. They're 7th. They blew them away, didn't they? That Hinchelwood header. I mean, it's such a satisfying header. He doesn't break stride. He's a really brave header, but just keeps on running. And then Lewis Dunk scored and Minter banged one home, and that was pretty much it, wasn't it?
I was surprised to hear Lewis Dunk. He was being interviewed after the game, and he clearly knew the match reporter quite well, and the match reporter was making fun of the fact that he hardly ever scores. And I thought Lewis Dunk was definite 5-goal a season, man. Headers or corners. But no, that was his first goal in over 2 years. I was surprised to learn. A word for Wolves, I guess. Rob Edwards really threw his players under the bus after the game. I don't think any of them can complain about it. They were absolutely pathetic. But he must regret leaving Middlesbrough, surely, because I
think it's fair to say no one's spying on his training ground, are they?
It was a dismal performance from a relegated team, and he's talking about a summer clear out. Whether or not he'll be overseeing this clear out, I guess, remains to be seen.
I think he's done enough. I think he's done enough to make Wolves. They've had some good games, they've had some good performances. Yes, they'll lose a couple of their top players. One of their centre mids might be going to Atleti, I think, but
I would say they lose a lot of their players, and a lot of them will be no loss.
And Sunderland Man United 0-0. Quite a good 0-0.
I thought it was a decent 0-0. I thought Sunderland should have won it. They had better chances. I thought Nilsson Angulo was very lucky not to get sent off. I think that's at least 3 Sunderland players I can think of off the top of my head that should have been sent off but haven't been across various matches. So yeah, I'm complaining about bias in favour of my team. But yeah, he was very lucky not to see red for that.
Steve's been in touch. Some people questioning, the forensic nature of the analysis that we do. Steve says, great insight on Bournemouth. They've got to do something to something. That's what I said. Award with regards to their stadium. So,
right, yes.
Thank you so much. And Jim says, at this stage, it feels like you're personally trolling me with your James/Marcus Tavernier confusion. Yes, well, I'm still confused. It'll take me a few years.
James,
what do you want from us, people? Yes, Karen.
James Tavernier is leaving Rangers at the end of the season. I think he might be going to Saudi Arabia, so he will no longer be in the picture, and that will, it will just be Marcus easier. You have to worry about.
Okay, good stuff.
I mean, I used to call them James and Marcus Tavernier. So that was Pete. That used to get on people's wick as well. But so I'm now able to pronounce their names and I can tell them apart.
Sure. People, if somebody could just say, I'm really happy with the level of conversation you're delivering, that would even things up. It is Max and Barry with you on the warm-up, brought to you with Travis Perkins. Go big on landscaping with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need at travisperkins.co.uk.
Let's not worry about other teams. I'm sorry, West Ham, not our problem. Okay, you lost 3-0 to Brentford. You've got 3 games. Go and beat Arsenal on the weekend. Do it yourself. Aston Villa, worry about Aston Villa. And the players, they took it easy. My daughter was there in the whole end. She's like, Dad, why is everyone walking? It was walking football from Aston Villa. But then when you see a performance like that, where they've put in 100% every player, you don't care about that. Up the Villa!
Up the Villa!
Up the Villa! Istanbul!
Do you want the Ends mask? Put the Ends mask on.
Gary's putting the Ends mask on. Up the Villa! Up the Villa! Up the European Villa! Istanbul! Istanbul! Let's go! Let's go, baby! Boys,
do as anyone see. Do as anyone see.
Yeah. Go on, Gary.
Let's set it up for Gabby.
Sorry. Has anyone seen Maximus Scott? Where are you, Max? We need some news. Robin Hood, the Prince of Thieves. Sherwood Forest. Friar Tuck. Where are you, Friar? The original boots chemist. Hooters. Is Hooters closed? I used to open Hooters. Close Hooters. Shut it down. Matt Ford. Do us a favour, mate. Stuart Broad. Where are you? Chris Wokes. Better player. Where are you? Tricky Trees. Rock City. HB Sauce. Where are you? Notts. Forest.
And Big Eyes Marcus killed me. Big Eyes Marcus killed me.
Good morning. It's the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you till 1:30. Andy Jacobs is loving the show. The Spygate stuff was brilliant, he says. If anything, the level of conversation is too good for the show. It's concerning me, says Connor in Cambridge. Kat Laguna says, Max and Barry are my favourite. Yes, I'm happy with the level of conversation. My bar is really low, though, but I'm okay with it. I am Dave in Crookham Hill says, I'm happy with the level of conversation you're providing. I'm also an inveterate liar, he says. It is Max and Listen, Barry. Yes, so Jill says, I'm really happy with the level of content. Over the years, I've learned to read between the lines and anticipate what Barry is going to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure
anyway,
what I know, what I make, or no, excuse me, put my teeth in. I'm not sure I know what to make of that.
They're all compliments if qualified, but we want nothing more. Let's look at the latest odds out of today's action with William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Ali Phelps joins us. Hey, Lee.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. In the studio doing the goal show later?
Yes, yeah, we are. Big afternoon of football, isn't it? Really looking forward to it. Yeah, there's obviously Premier League. We've got the William Hill Premiership Old Firm Derby. I think this is the 6th of the season, this Old Firm Derby. League 2 playoffs starting as well. El Clasico later. So, yeah, what a day of football it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you want to start? Final One Standing?
Yeah, just to note that we've still got 10 leagues in play at the minute. Nearly £300,000 still on the table to be won. There's a £20,000 game that started in February. It's got 3 players left. One went Brighton yesterday, so safely through. 2 have gone Villa today.
Should be Burnley.
Should be. Yeah, so plenty to play for today, so we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Good stuff. Let's do the Old Firm then. It's a huge game. It's a huge game, obviously, for both, because Rangers want to stop Celtic, but it's a huge game for Celtic, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, listening to what David was saying earlier on, that the way, to say it's in Celtic's hands now is remarkable, really. In that final game of the season, Hearts taking on Celtic's unreal, really. It just every twist and turn. Obviously, as a title sponsor of the league, it's an incredible season, and could obviously, if Hearts win it, will be a truly historic season for everyone up in Scotland. Rangers out of form, really lost the last 2. But once the split happens, you're playing. Obviously, every game is really competitive, isn't it? Hearts and Motherwell have lost 2. Celtic 1 loss in 11 now. The epic boost on this is Celtic to score the first goal, even money from odds on. They've scored first in both derbies at their place this season, and each of the last 5 games in all competitions. Daisen Maeda's really come to the fore in the split, 4 and 3. Chimiti's been scoring crucial goals all season. He's got 3 and 3 as well. So, yeah, fascinating. Celtic, a touch of odds on, and they go to within a point of Hearts if they win it as well.
Yeah, it's so tight, isn't it? I think all the neutrals want Hearts, really, don't they? That's what they want. Just mix it up a bit, change it a bit. What about the Premier League games then? Obviously, the big one is West Ham Arsenal, isn't it? At both ends of the table.
Yeah, before that, you got the 2 o'clocks. And I think it depends on team news, really. You've got Aston Villa at Burnley, Crystal Palace at home to Everton, Nottingham Forest at home to Newcastle. Depending on how the teams who played in Europe midweek weaken down or have to rest players, I think it depends a lot. If I could see an away treble here, Villa win at Burnley, I expect that. Everton to win at Palace if Palace have weakened down. Newcastle to win at Forest if Forest have still got the injury problems that they had midweek. And if you chuck Arsenal in there as well, away at West Ham, that activates your ACCA boost, and it's 14-1 that 4 time. I know 4 away victories is a bit of an ask. But
Everton's record against Palace's record against Everton is atrocious, like so bad, and Palace tend not to do well after your Europa Conference League game, so those 2 things would certainly steer me in the direction of an Everton win. Can't see Burnley beating snow off a rope at the moment, to be honest. They're really bad. And Forest Newcastle, that could go either way.
Yeah, I think there'll be goals in that one. There's another epic boost in that. 3 or more goals in the match was 4-6 now even. But and the West Ham Arsenal game, it is must win for both, isn't it? I think, you can never, count games as being won, but Arsenal playing Burnley and Crystal Palace before their European final, you'd have to say that Arsenal would get 6 points from those games. So if they win this, then, there'll be a very short price to win the title. Already odds on 4-11. If this wasn't as crucial as it is at this time of season, I think you'd just say Arsenal win this, because West Ham have only lost more Premier League games to Liverpool than against Arsenal, and the Gunners have only beaten Everton more than West Ham. So, this is not a good game for West Ham in any way.
Yeah, but Lars was saying yesterday, West Ham are better than we think they are, just because they lost last week and we have short memories. Like Nuno's turned them into a sort of mid-table team. And they are, and obviously I'm desperate for them to lose today.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. There'll be a lot. It's
the agony
people are torn. Yeah, we've got Abby Summers with us on the Goals show this afternoon, so she'll be torn just like every other Tottenham fan. If you're looking for a bet builder on this one, by the way, Saka's got a career high 9 Premier League goal contributions, as they call it, 5 goals, 4 assists against West Ham. All of those in his last 8 appearances against them, and also Jared Bowen. 7 assists in his last 6 home league games, and 4 of his 5 goals against Arsenal in his career have come at the London Stadium as well. So if you're looking for a bet builder, that might be a way in. The El Clasico is interesting later. Barcelona can win the La Liga title with a win, which would crown a truly awful week for Real Madrid, including the €1 million fight. No, I'm not talking about Wardley Dubois, Tuchemani and Valverde, of course. I couldn't believe that they got fined €500,000 each.
Yeah.
€1 million.
Incredible.
Can't have been worth it.
So who gets that money?
Hopefully it goes to a very good cause. But yeah, so that's fascinating.
Purity.
And then League Two, obviously you don't have to worry about this.
No, of course.
You're just sat watching from the comfort of League One.
No, but like Grimsby-Salford's interesting because Salford are a good team, but Grimsby on real form.
Yeah.
The other game, Chesterfield-Notts County, is impossible to call. I think.
Yeah. The outrights in this, who goes up from these 4 is... everyone is 5-2. 5-2, 4 co-favourites. So we can't split any of the 4. Grimsby have done the double over Salford this season, 3-1 at home, 2-0 away. Charles Vernon scored in both of those, by the way. And only Yola and Notts County have scored more at home than the Mariners. Kabir scored 23 goals in 55 games he's played this season, by the way. Chesterfield done the double over Notts County as well, so maybe there's a home double there if you're looking at the League Two playoffs. We've got racing today. Greyhound Derby continues as well, so plenty to go at.
Good stuff, Lee. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Lee.
Enjoy the Goals show. That was the latest odds brought to you by Final One Standing from William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18+. Gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Matt, the Bradford fan, says, since Barry did that charity run and you rallied the listener donations, Max, I feel that you can say what you want for the rest of the season. Thank you. Joe says, I am unhappy with the level of conversations. It's a bit beyond me. Knowing the difference between 2 brothers who play in completely opposing positions for teams quite literally at the other end of the UK and in different leagues is a level of insight I personally find intimidating and unnecessary. Get these intolerable show-offs off the radio. Joe. Thank you, Joe.
I think Joe makes a very good point.
We will continue.
It smacks of arrogance that you can't be bothered to tell the difference between Marcus and James to Vernier.
I'd like to apologise to everyone for everything. We'll do some EFL. We'll do some more Spygate in just a second. Ben Fisher, EFL writer for The Guardian, joins us. It's Max and Barry with you on the warm-up till 1:30.
The performances that you've seen from Chelsea. I mean, the Brighton game.
You can't defend what Chelsea have done.
Why are they giving Caicedo an extra year?
You cannot defend what Chelsea have done. There is nothing positive to say about the way the club has behaved and the club has been run, the club have played this season. There is nothing positive.
You can have 3 or 4 maybe that you see in a team that are not doing it, but there's so many games this season I've seen Chelsea players, every single player is not running around. Yeah. Every single player is not trying.
Gabby,
every single
the
player is not
statistics are
tracking
clear.
back.
They have been outrun in every single Premier League game. After 10 games, the alarm bells should be ringing.
And in fairness, you can moan about the way the club is run. You can moan about the model. You can moan about the revolving door of managers, which we were told, by the way, when they hired Graham Potter, they weren't going to be that club anymore. They've got worse. but there still has to be individual responsibility. There still has to be professional pride. And there isn't in that dressing room.
You got Fofana getting taken off in a recent game.
He's
he's throwing his toys
I have to say,
he's garbage.
He's got a history of falling out with everybody.
Incredible,
bad signing. What? Signed him
Who signed
off the back of a long-term injury, and guess what happened? Yeah. He got injured.
He didn't play for nearly 2
years.
Who
could have seen that coming?
But even look at all Chelsea's centre-half options. Listen, Chalobah, decent player, not at the level where Chelsea want to get to. Badiashile, not good enough. The Sassy, who's at West Ham on loan, not good enough.
He's actually played quite well for West Ham.
I know, but where Chelsea want to get to, all of those centre-halves, you're looking at it and saying, that's not a back line.
Especially when you spent 2.5 billion quid.
How much do all those players
cost?
They
signed a goalkeeper in Robert Sanchez, who Brighton made no real effort to keep.
The Premier League's profit and sustainability rules are sold to us as financial fair play, a way to keep clubs from going bust. But there are those who feel it's starting to look a lot like a system that protects the big boys and keeps the rest in their lane. Here's how it works and why people feel that way. So clubs can only lose 105 million quid over 3 years, which sounds fair, but here's the kicker. Your limit includes how much you earn. So if you're one of the traditional top 6, you've got massive global revenue streams and you can spend way more while still technically following the rules. Meanwhile, ambitious clubs who've got money like Newcastle, Villa or Forest, well, they're bringing a knife to a gunfight. Newcastle might be backed by Saudi billions, but they just can't splurge the cash. Their commercial income isn't there yet. Want to buy world-class talent? Well, PSR says to them, your owner might have the money, but you're not making enough in shirt sales in Asia for that. The Magpies won their first domestic trophy since 1955, qualified for the Champions League, which you'd think would be a great springboard for them to go on and start building a team to challenge at the top. But because of PSR restraints, they couldn't break their wage structure for a new Alexander Isak contract, and look what's happened there. Nottingham Forest tried to invest to survive. They did that, but they got punished anyway. Meanwhile, clubs like Spurs, until last season, hadn't won a trophy in over 18 years, but because they rake in cash from the new stadium, they get a much bigger PSR allowance than a newly promoted club who are just trying to stay up. And let's not forget the loopholes these big boys are exploiting. Chelsea found the trick with those long contracts, selling the women's team. City are masters of related party sponsorships. Etihad this, Etisalat that, all within the rules, and fair play to them for capitalising on those opportunities. But what about the smaller clubs? They don't have that luxury. Now look, financial sustainability matters. Nobody wants another Bury or Morecambe situation. But there's increasing concern that rather than levelling the playing field, the current rules cement the existing hierarchy. So what's the solution? Well, either loosen the reins so ambitious clubs can spend within their means, or cap spending based on something other than revenue. Otherwise, we're just watching the same 6 teams swapping silverware most seasons while the rest play musical chairs for 7th. And that, folks, ain't what the Premier League was built on.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Warm Up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30 today. Jim says if the Valverde Tchouaméni fine does go to charity, Barry must be furious he didn't think of, inverted commas, banging his head on a table to raise money for good causes rather than doing his half marathon. This is good from Stuart, who says Lego have updated their Homer Simpson in a Hedge classic for the Southampton playoff comparative edition. And I will show you this, Barry, on the on the screen. It's a little, it's a little hedge and a man in a Southampton kit with funny glasses and a silly moustache. Anyway, let's do some EFL then. And before we speak to Ben Fisher, EFL writer for The Guardian, let's hear the press conference after the Middlesbrough Southampton goalless draw with Southampton manager Tonda Eckert, where he doesn't really say a lot, but the press officer does. Here's a little bit.
We've answered it. We've made a statement yesterday. There's nothing more to say. If anyone would like to ask any more questions ahead of Tuesday's game, feel free. Otherwise, we'll finish.
Can we ask what punishment the club is expecting from the EFL?
The answer is going to be exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Your statement's a holding statement which says nothing.
It says we cannot make any further comment at this time.
Are you accepting that the spying actually happened?
Any more questions about Tuesday night's game?
Would you not like to offer reassurance to support?
Thanks very much, everybody. Thank you.
Let's talk to Ben Fisher then, EFL writer for The Guardian. Hey, were you in there, Ben? I'm not sure if you were.
No, I wasn't there yesterday, no, but I've seen it, obviously. I suppose my degree of sympathy for Southampton in this is I imagine that legally, Tonda Eckert just can't say anything, and he's obviously been advised not to say anything, although for those in the room, extremely unhelpful. Yeah, it's a weird one for Saints because he may possibly have to do it all again tomorrow at his pre-match press conference. So, yeah, it's quite painful, isn't it? It's hard to listen to. I've listened to it a few times. But as I said, I do sort of sympathise in the sense I think they just can't say anything because once you go down that road, you start legally kind of creating problems for yourself, I imagine.
But shouldn't Tonda Eckert then just say to the reporters, look, guys, I appreciate you want to ask me these questions, but I cannot answer them for the following reason, and that has to be the end of it, rather than referring reporters to, as someone said, a holding statement that says nothing.
Yeah, I think it was one of those, wasn't it, Barry, where he clearly had this sort of premeditated line, probably been advised, this is what we're going to say, this is how we're going to deal with it. And that was exactly what we got. And there was no kind of veering from it at all. I mean, some of it was kind of hilarious in the sense that, you're asking questions and he just sort of said, it's about the players, it's about the coaches, just totally ignoring the question. So, as I said, there's going to be plenty more before the second leg on Tuesday. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's no questions about the game, Ben, but actually it was quite good, wasn't it? The first half, Middlesbrough was really good in this game.
Yeah, there was a game as well, and it's a weird one because the spy who believed to attended that training session on Thursday, clearly they did a dreadful job because Southampton were awful in the first half. Middlesbrough ended up with 21 shots in total across the game. Southampton were much better in the second, hit the bar, had a great chance towards the end, but no shots on target. So, yeah, Borough probably disappointed not to come out of that game with some kind of score advantage, but and Saints were probably pretty happy with that as well. 0-0 going into second leg. It's going to be spicy, I think, on Tuesday.
Yeah, because Ben, unlike Tonda Eckert, Kim Hellberg had plenty to say in his post-match press conference. Much of it uncomplimentary in terms of Southampton.
Yeah. I mean, it's clear that Middlesbrough are raging about this. They don't think that a fine or something to that end is going to be sufficient in terms of punishment. I think Steve Gibson and Bury, been trying to get out of the Championship for 8-9 years now, and the thought of Southampton, potentially getting an advantage to then perhaps go through, it doesn't sit well, understandably. So it will be interesting what the Commission say and what they do. And equally, I think it's a big ask for anything to happen on this tomorrow in terms of Monday before Tuesday's second leg. So that creates another kind of issue potentially for the EFL because by then the second leg would have been played. What does that mean? Can there be kind of retrospective action in terms of looking back to that playoff tie? So yeah, there's kind of a world of problems potentially, but I don't think anybody really knows the answer. As I said yesterday, there's no real precedent for this. The Leeds one is slightly different because the rules have changed since then. So I don't think anybody really knows, and maybe that explains the caginess around Tonda Eckert's answers yesterday.
And Ben, you alluded to the time frame there. Do we have any idea how long it's going to take for the investigation to conclude, or are we going to be in 115 charges territory here. We might not get an answer for 5.5 years.
Honest answer is I don't think anybody really knows. I just think I would say that it feels extremely doubtful that anything's going to happen before the second leg, before Tuesday's game. But as I said, I think that creates problems in itself, because let's just envisage a world where Southampton do go through, the situation's not sorted. I can imagine Steve Gibson in Middlesbrough being far from happy. And also Kim Helberg yesterday, as you said, he spoke very well.
He did.
And one of the points he said was, people underplaying, like, actually, what was Southampton going to gain from this? They were sort of saying that they're missing the point. And I do probably agree with him. If this is what's happened, which, we believe it is, a sort of junior member of Southampton's backroom team attended their training session, filming the session, photographs, recording it in some way. It's not on. It's not in the rules. It's not allowed. And clearly there was some kind of advantage to be gained from it, whether it was tactics, set pieces, we think was a big factor. Southampton's record at set pieces is extraordinary this season. Or Hayden Hackney or his involvement, who wasn't involved yesterday, and Middlesbrough really hoping could play some part on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, the EFL must be just desperate for Middlesbrough to win, and it makes this sort of go away, doesn't it? But may not happen. The League One playoffs yesterday at Stevenage, Stockport. Stockport won 1-0, and it's, I mean, you really fear. Who is the Stevenage centre-back? He's played for them for about 100 years. I've seen him dominate against Cambridge so many times.
Yeah,
that's the guy, and he had a good chance, and then he miscontrols the ball at the start. This is an injury time. He miscontrols the ball at the start, and then Stockport break, and then their centre forward falls over. So the whole Stevenage crowd will go, way, and then he falls over basically, and Stockport score. And it's like this real kind of, you hear the two cheers, and that is a really big goal for Stockport, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and it was a shocker, wasn't it? It was a horrible, horrible goal. Just a communication mix-up in Ben Osborne. Just buries it, just seizes on the kind of a brain freeze in defence between the keeper and the centre half. Horrible moment. It's funny because obviously the goal that got Stevenage into the playoffs was that horrible goal in itself, kind of comical in different ways. And then yesterday they're come undone, obviously, in those circumstances. So yeah, Stockport very much in the box seat in that one.
Stay where you are. Let's go to David Tanner. Goal in the Old Firm, David.
And it's 10 minutes gone, and it's Celtic 0, Rangers 1. Rangers, who haven't lost in their last 6 visits to Celtic, are ahead. And it was Luke McCowan of Celtic who was dispossessed on the Celtics' right. The ball was played forward to Yusuf Chamiti. His first shot was blocked, but he managed to feed Mikey Moore at the left-hand side at the near post, 6 yards out. And the Tottenham loanee stabbed the ball past Sinisalo into the back of the net. What a start for Rangers. Celtic 0, Rangers 1.
Enormous goal there in Scotland. Back to Ben Fisher, Guardian TFL writer. We talked about Stevenage Stockport. Bolton beat Bradford 1-0. It could have been more, actually, couldn't it?
Yeah, Bolton, I think, were probably going to be fancied going into that game. And, 1-0 advantage is what they get. I think, Bradford, we forget, they've only come up, the previous season. So for them to be in that spot is pretty impressive in itself. And I think, Bolton probably go through now. Obviously, it's a narrow lead, but Stephen Schumacher's side, I'd fancy to progress in the second leg.
It's been quite fun during this interview, as you were incredibly clear when you started. Now starting to sound more and more like Bane from Batman. But I will, and I hope you go full Bane for the League Two preview. You've got Grimsby, Salford, Chesterfield, Notts County. Lee Phelps was saying they're all basically joint favourites to go up. It's really hard to call these games, isn't it?
Yeah, only 3 points separated the 4 teams on the final day, or, in terms of the final standings. Salford and Notts County definitely in the mix to go up automatically heading into that final day. And I think Salford probably, felt quite sort of hard done by come the end of it all. Carl Robinson. It's actually Salford's 7th season at the level now. We've seen sort of Wrexham and these teams come up and just sort of fly through the leagues. I think there was always a belief that Salford would maybe do the same or certainly kick into League One, which is obviously what they're trying to do now. And yeah, they have found it really tough to get out, but obviously this time they've got a chance through the playoffs. They've only lost one of their last 14, Salford, so you'd have to give them a bit of credit for being in good form. But to miss out on the final day in the way they did, Grimsby have done a double over them in the regular season. So yeah, it's certainly going to be tight, I think, between the two teams.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, guys.
Ben Fisher there from The Guardian. Quite like it at the end. Shawnee says, is that fella being interviewed or exorcised? It's good to double up on a Sunday afternoon, isn't it? That's really funny. Thank you, Shawnee. It's Max and Barry with you on the warm-up. We're here till 1:30. We've got James Fielden is joining us for the football game. Do we want a member of the public to play along with us, Barry, or not?
I'm quite happy for a member of the public to have a go.
Okay, fine.
I'm confident enough not to be
cowed by the civilians
or embarrassed by a civilian.
Well, here you go. You've got 2 minutes. If you want to play the football game, first caller gets it. 03717 223344 to take on me, Barry, and James Fielden, and we'll do that now.
Real Madrid striker Kylian Mbappe, who has faced criticism from his own fans after taking a trip to Italy on a mega yacht with his partner. He's recovering from a hamstring injury he suffered on April the 24th and was given some days off last week. He arrived back in Madrid on Sunday, shortly before kickoff, when Madrid played away against Espanyol. Many fans thought Mbappe should not have taken a break and should have stuck with the team, going through a difficult time at this particular time. Alvaro Arbeloa said, well, in their free time, each player does what they see fit, and I don't get involved with that. Mbappe's representative said part of the criticism was based on an over-interpretation of elements related to a recovery period, strictly supervised by the club, without reflecting the reality of Kylian's commitment and the work that he puts in every day for the team. So that was Mbappe and Real Madrid. But then there's Liverpool. What was going on with them? Danny's old club. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk had to defend some of his teammates who were criticised for being abroad last week on a day off as they headed into the Manchester United game, a game they ultimately lost by 3-2. It was put to Van Dijk that some of his teammates had gone on holiday last week. He says, I'm not sure it was a holiday, it was a city trip. But I think if you're one day off and you don't have many days off, then you decide what you want to do with your family. We're not kids. Everyone's an adult. I wish we had a couple more days off at times because I think it works both ways.
Good afternoon. You are listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning here until 1:30. Brought to you with Travis Perkins with pay-as-you-go hire from Travis Perkins. You don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. Time to play the footballer game. It is me v Barry versus James. Did anyone want to play, Barry? I don't know. No one's told me.
I don't know. Oh, apparently someone does. By the way, can I give a shout-out to my pal John Jackson, who coached his Dulwich Hamlet under-11s to defeat in this morning's South Kent League Shield final. Hashtag Jackson out. It starts here, Max.
Right. Noted. Okay, it's time for the footballer game then. It is me versus Barry versus James Fielden. Hey, James. Hello, James Fielden at Selhurst Park. Are you there? James Fielden at Selhurst Park. Are you there? Okay. I mean, if he doesn't want to play, he's quite keen on these games, so I don't know where he is or where he's gone. But Gaz, the Wolves fan from Telford, friend of the show, joins us. Hey, Gaz.
Hello, broadcasting legends. How the devil are we?
Very well.
Very good. Thank
Gaz.
you. It's nice to have you on, especially now. I mean, given where James Fielden is, you couldn't possibly report on Palace Everton for the afternoon as well, could you, Gaz?
Yeah, I mean, if it's going begging, why not? Put me in.
Okay, great. Okay, we're not going to pay you, but we don't really mind if you don't watch. Just as long as you make it entertaining for the updates through the afternoon, we'd appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, well, it'll be the return of the Everton Cup, won't it? Will the Palace players be on the proverbial beach with their big European Cup semi-final? And yeah, we'll just see how it goes. It could be a game of two halves.
It's quite good. James Fielden joins us. You're under pressure now, James. Gaz is after your gig.
Well, you know, what can you say?
Yeah. Well,
James sounds like he wouldn't mind giving it to him.
Do you want a food update from Selhurst Park?
Yeah.
So chicken and chorizo pasty with a little bit of sauce inside. Crust was inedible, and wedges that feel like they've been in the oven for about 20 days.
Oh, okay, so your free food wasn't up to standard?
No, pretty much. And it's the talk of the press room, you know.
Okay, what's
my
your
wallet's
record
too
game,
small
James?
for my 50s and my diamond shoes are too tight.
James, you've got a decent record at this, haven't you?
I think I've won the last two that I've participated in, so could be on for the treble.
What about you, Gaz?
Well, I'm still having nightmares over not getting Paolo one chop a few weeks ago when we played. But I do have a victory under my belt, as you know, from the famous spreadsheet. So here we go. We go again.
I confess to say, yes, I'd forgotten, so I didn't know. But now we know. That's good. Here we go then. So it is a star-studded lineup. Reese is here to join us. Hey, Reese.
Good afternoon.
How you feeling out of 10?
Frozen with fear at around a 7.
Okay, you'll beat West Ham.
Yeah, we should. We absolutely should do.
Please do it. Okay, let's go with player one.
Our first player started his career at Dundee United in 1990, staying until 1996, scoring 18 goals in 143 games. This earned him a move to Derby County, where he stayed between 1996 and 1998, scoring 4 goals in 67 games. He then moved on to Blackburn Rovers.
Charlie Adam.
Nope, where he stayed between 1998 and 2001, scoring 4 in 70.
Gallagher.
Nope, before moving on to West Ham between 2001 and 2007.
Christian Daly.
It is Christian Daly.
Yeah. I was quite pleased with that. Thank you for your sigh there, Gaz. It's nice to make a noise. Okay, here we go then. Player 2, everybody. Max 1, Barry 0. Gaz, the Wolves fan in Telford 0. James Fielden 0. I'm not sure your heart's in it today, James, got to say.
Well, actually, I was the one that messaged Reese this morning saying, did you want me in? So
Very keen.
Oh, wow, okay.
Very keen.
I was proactive in my approach.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Okay, here we go. You are allowed to make a noise if you want, James. Remember, this is for a hat-trick of victories. You need both now. Here we go, player 2.
Our second footballer began his career at Nancy between 93 and 98, where he scored once in 46 games, before moving on to Metz, where he stayed between 1998 and 2001, scoring twice in 60. In 2001, he was loaned to West Ham, where he didn't score in 12 games, before making his move to Upton Park Permanent between 01 and 03, scoring 1 goal in 51 games. He then moved on to Portsmouth for the 2003-04 season, where he didn't score in 12 games.
Sylvain Distin?
Nope, before finishing his career back in France in the 2004-05 season, where he didn't score in 8 games for Le Havre.
So,
okay.
Harry favours who is Nico Crancher.
Apabuba Diop?
Nope.
Diarra of some description?
No.
Alan Diarra.
Dara Diarra.
Say again, sorry, mate.
What years was Portsmouth again?
Portsmouth was the 2003-04 season, where he didn't score in 12 appearances.
French centre-back.
Yes.
French centre-back who played for West Ham.
I daren't give a clue in case I'm booked again. I think I'm already on a booking from
I see.
Fabrizio Colaccini's hair.
You passed the point where you can get a ban, so I think you should just give it.
Well, if the yellow card.
No clues. Absolutely no clues. Don't be ridiculous. People want this dead air. I'm going through West Ham centre-backs in my mind. Steve Potts, George Paris. What have they done? George Le Paris. There you go.
While we wait, we should go to a goal at the Celtic Park.
Okay, we can do that, and we can all think of this player. David Tanner watching the Old Firm.
23 minutes gone. Celtic are back in it. It's Celtic 1, Rangers 1, and it's Yang who gets the goal. It came from an attack on the right. The ball was cut back to Yang, and right-footed, he battered the ball through our batch of players and into the back of the net. Celtic back in it in the middle of the first half. Celtic 1, Rangers 1, Yang.
You join us with four people who cannot for the life of them think of a Frenchman who played for West Ham in the early 2000s, and that's where we are. And we can't move until we have a guess. And I'm looking at Barry, and I'm saying, Barry,
I've given up. I'm on the beach as far as this one is concerned.
Give up.
This is a certified stinker.
He was relegated with West Ham in 02-03. If that helps.
Sebastian Schemmel.
It is Sebastian Schemmel.
Oh my days!
Crikey.
That is absolutely tremendous work. You've saved us, Gaz. I'd have been here for the rest of my life. What a way to go. What a way for your life to ebb away, not being able to think of Sebastian Schemmel. Anyway, okay, let's go. Player 3. Max 1, Gaz 1, James 0, Barry 0. Here we go.
If Reese had given us the clue, his first name is Sebastian, I still wouldn't have got it.
I was going to say his name's alliterative, but...
Right, yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, for that, we wouldn't have got it. Here we go, player 3.
Our final player began his career at Bolton Wanderers in 2003, staying until 2010, scoring 3 times in 58 games, while being loaned to Hull in the 2007 season, not scoring in 6 games. He then moved he moved on to Panionios, the 2010-11 season where he scored once in
Ricardo Gardner.
Nope, he moved back to...
Kevin Davis.
Nope, he moved to Hibernian for the second half of 2011, scoring once in 10. He then moved to Barnsley for the 11-12 season, scoring 10 in 22, which earned him a move to West Ham, where he stayed between 2012 and 2015, scoring 15 in 51 before...
Jaskalainen.
Marlon Harewood.
Nope. He moved on to Turkey with Akhisar Belediyespor, where he scored 5 in 14. He then moved back to Britain with Charlton for the 15-16 season, where he didn't score in 11 games. Back to Turkey with Akhisar, where he scored 12 in 45, before moving on to the Chinese Super League with Henan Jianye, where he scored 16 in 26. I'm doing my best. He stayed in China with Chengdu with Huangyi, scoring 5 in 14, before finishing his career in his home country of Portugal with Portimonense for the 2020-21 season, scoring twice in 21.
The Portuguese footballer who started his career with Bolton.
Yes. Got 2 in 2.
Ricardo Vazte.
It is Ricardo Vazte.
Thank you, James. I was starting to think we should maybe never play the football game again. But there we are. With Ricardo Vazte. That was a tough one, really. Tough game today, Reece.
Yeah.
None of them were easy.
It was a little too easy last week. So.
What was it? Christian Daly, Sebastian Schemmel, and Ricardo Vazte. I mean, that is absolute. That's killing us. You've killed us there, Reece. But that's the way
if you put the 3 of them in front of me, I would recognise Christian Daly.
Thanks, everybody. Well played, James.
Nice.
Cheers. Thanks very much, Max.
Well done, Gaz.
See you, Max and Barry. Thank you. Bye.
All the best. I would say well done, Barry, but you didn't really contribute. It's got to be said. It's Max and Barry on the warm-up until 1:30. Brought to you with Travis Perkins. With Pay As You Go hire from Travis Perkins, you don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. Sam Dalling, football writer, Newcastle fan as well. We'll look ahead to the Premier games this afternoon in just a second.
I'm going to go Friday after work pint, number 5, mate.
Number 5.
There he is. So do you want it? You ready?
Yeah, go on.
In number 5.
Number 5.
Friday after work pint. You've worked hard all week. You know, you want to go there, just have that first pint. You've earned it.
Number 4.
Beer garden pint. This can happen any time of day.
Good pint.
Any time, any day of the week. Yeah. Saturday afternoon, meet the lads. Sunday afternoon.
Good pint.
Right, sun's got to be
Number 3.
Football pint. The football pint's in. You meet your lads, meeting up Saturday afternoon or Sunday, whatever it is. First pint, in you go. Hey, we're going to get a beer again.
Yeah.
Number 2.
The holiday pint. Mr. O'Hara wants that one. Yeah. When you get there, you've done the journey. You've gone through everything you need to do. Passport, security checks, the journey. You get out, you smell, you feel a bit grubby. Don't care. You get on wherever you get to then you get to your destination. Bags get dropped. Sit there. You've earned this pint.
Yeah, it's a good pint.
Good pint.
That's my favourite.
There you go.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Airport. It's the only one, mate. Airport pint. It's the only one. You're there. It doesn't matter what time. Not with lads. No. Doesn't matter who you're with. If you're with me, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 3, whatever it is, that's the point.
Do you know what's disappointing in this whole, ranking that we've done?
Have I missed something?
Yeah, well, your missus. There's not one pint that involves your missus. Not one. Where's Hannah in this?
I'm at the airport with her.
No, you're not. You're not at the airport with her. You're with Razor Rudding.
No, hold on.
Hold on.
Let me
Hannah's involved in none of these pints.
No, hold on. I'm at the airport with her, definitely. I'm definitely with a holiday pint. I'm definitely with her at football. I'm definitely not.
Good afternoon, you are listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Let's go to the Women's FA Cup semi-finals then. Chelsea Man City kicking off at 3:30 today. Liverpool-Brighton is underway and Liverpool have the lead, Matt Jones.
They do, and they very much deserve it. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0 with 18 minutes on the clock, and the goal has been scored by a former Brighton player, actually, Denise O'Sullivan. She'd had one header that went narrowly wide just a few minutes earlier, but she made no mistake with the second attempt. Kerry Holland wonderfully crossing into the box. O'Sullivan flicking home for her first Liverpool goal, and Liverpool have the lead. Remember, Wembley awaits the winner at the moment. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0.
Let's go back to David Tanner watching this crucial game at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Celtic, who need to win to keep the pressure on Hearts. Rangers, who absolutely desperate to stop them, of course, can still win the league if, Hearts just completely implode. It's 1-1 at the moment. David, how's it going?
33 minutes gone, Max. It's Celtic 1, Rangers 1. Mikey Moore opened the scoring in 9 minutes for Rangers before Yang equalised in the middle of the half. There was a VAR check on that Yang shot. I mentioned at the time that he hit the ball through a ruck of players. Rangers claimed that Benjamin Agron had blocked Jack Butland's eye line, and therefore it should have been given off for interfering with play. The referee didn't go for that, Nick Walsh, and so we're still at Celtic 1, Rangers 1 at Celtic Park.
David, I read somewhere yesterday that Danny Roll's been linked with a job in the Bundesliga. Is it Bayer Leverkusen, maybe? Are you confident he'll still be Rangers head coach at the start of next season?
Well, I think until 3 weeks ago, people were talking about him being at Rangers for a long time, but he took Rangers on a mid-winter or a mid-season break a couple of weeks ago. That seemed to me to be a reward for being knocked out of the cup by a Celtic team that couldn't fashion a shot on target at Ibrox last month. Coming back from that week in the sun in Spain, they've lost to Motherwell and to Hearts, and their title is all but over. So he's gone from being a hero to people asking serious questions about him. I can tell you he's only won 40% of games against top 6 opponents in the league and cup, and that's not good enough. I've been saying for a few months now on talkSPORT, Danny Roll doesn't win enough big games, and certainly in the last couple of weeks that's proven to be. So they've gone from having the league basically in their hands, as it is for Celtic and Hearts at the moment, to being pretty much out of it in the space of a couple of games, which is a quite extraordinary set of circumstances. And bear in mind, there's been criticism as well for the team selections in some of these games. Here's a chance for Rangers now, a cross coming in, and it's headed away by Liam Scales before it got to Chermiti, who's already been heavily involved in this game. So Danny Roll is under pressure now, there's no doubt about that, but 2 weeks ago you wouldn't have heard very much criticism of him at all from the supporters.
And just to remind people of the situation, right? So if the scores stay the same, obviously there's a long way to go in this game. Hearts have 77 points from 36, Celtic have 74 from 36, and their goal difference will be 5 worse. But Celtic do play Hearts in the last game of the season.
That's correct. There are 2 games to go after today. On Wednesday night, Celtic go to Motherwell. And Motherwell, of course, have took a point off Hearts last night and beat Rangers in the game before that. So they are a really difficult team to play against. They beat Celtic at Fir Park last time they were there, so that's going to be difficult. And as you say, on the last day of Hearts are at Falkirk on Wednesday night, by the way, and on the Saturday it's Celtic v Hearts, which looks at being a title decider unless Hearts get it done before then. It's fabulous, it's exciting. And what's best of all is seeing a different team, a different name at the top of the table, and it's still, at the moment, as it stands, 3 points clear. It's Heart of Midlothian.
Yeah, it'd be an amazing result for Hearts if it stays the same. Thank you, David. Let's go back to Matt Jones. Another goal in the FA Cup Women's semi-final.
And Liverpool have doubled their lead. Liverpool 2, Brighton 0 with 23 minutes gone. The Reds have just had a huge shout for a handball. In fact, Brighton have just pulled one back, so maybe they're back in this game. A corner coming into the Liverpool box. It wasn't properly cleared. It fell to Manuela Venegas, and she's just managed to hook it past Jennifer Falk in the Liverpool goal. So Brighton back in this after Liverpool have gone 2-0 up. The ball falling to Olsen in the area, and she swiveled and absolutely smashed it past the goalkeeper and into the top corner. So plenty of goals, plenty of action in this one, and Brighton keeping it alive. Liverpool 2, Brighton 1.
Thanks, Matt. Richard is in Gloucester, Barry writes, I'm a disgusted Southampton supporter as they've committed an offence against Middlesbrough, at least as serious as an in-play foul in the penalty area. Surely the simple solution is for the second leg of the playoff to start with a penalty kick to Middlesbrough. Of course it won't happen because, then he criticised the EFL and they can't sort this before the second leg. But what a brilliant way, if they are found guilty, of course. What do you think of that as a potential punishment? Sounds like quite a fun way to start a football match.
I think the EFL could offer that to Middlesbrough. say, look, you have been wronged. Will you accept either a penalty or a 1-goal head start?
No, I think a penalty. Penalty's more fun for the neutral, isn't it? The kickoff is a penalty.
Yeah, but see, I don't think they'd accept that. I think they would probably want more.
And they might.
And I don't think what Southampton have done is the equivalent of a trip in the penalty area. I think it's more serious than that.
Okay. Oh, but what a fun way to start.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Just the players walk out and then they just take the ball straight to the penalty spot. That's like your first kick of the game. Anyway, 4 games in the Premier League today. West Ham Arsenal, clearly the biggest game of the day. Baz, how do you see it?
I think Arsenal will win very comfortably because they are much better than West Ham. I think I heard Lars on your show yesterday, you and Charlie, saying that, if you look at West Ham since Christmas, they'd be 8th in the table. But I still think Arsenal are far too good I will be astonished if Arsenal do not win this game this afternoon. And when they do win it, they will basically have gimmies against Burnley and Crystal Palace under 11s left. And I cannot see them. I think it's absolutely unthinkable they will lose points from the Burnley or Palace games, and I think they will steamroller West Ham this afternoon. The only hope I give West Ham is that Arsenal have some sort of emotional hangover after the events of Tuesday night. That was clearly an emotionally exhausting, probably physically exhausting experience for them. So maybe they'll be a bit leggy today, but I can't see West Ham giving them too much to think about.
Of all the, the celebration police nonsense after that, I wrote a piece about it. I found the sort of fake controversy after originally, was it Ben White walking over the Atleti crest, and then Diego Simeone doing it as well, and just wondering who is this for? Who's getting annoyed about this? Like, who says you can't? This is where you have to walk. Here's a big thing in the middle of the floor that you have to walk over. Who's getting annoyed if you walk down a tunnel? It's quite narrow. And also, we've put you in a room just beyond this thing. I don't know. I don't know who it's for, that kind of content, Barry.
I mean, if you look on social media, people get annoyed over the most ridiculous things, and they will confect things to be offended by or annoyed with. But, if Diego Simeone is annoyed at you, it doesn't matter. Let him be annoyed. It's fine. Like, I incurred the wrath of some Arsenal fans during the week because I said on a podcast that, I was annoyed by Mikel Arteta's constant encroaching on the pitch. And I said, I would quite like to see, if he got in a player's way, that he gets 2-footed into sand. Some people thought, you're advocating violence against Mikel Arteta. I don't want to see Mikel Arteta get hurt, but it would be funny if he was in the way of some fullback or winger and got tackled as, they contested a 50-50 ball with an opposition player. So I don't know. But yeah, getting annoyed with someone for walking on a mat is...
It's a mat.
Yeah.
It's literally a mat. It's a doormat. Don't walk on my doormat. Well, don't put it there. If you don't want people to walk on the crest, put it on the wall. Then they're very unlikely to walk on it, aren't they? Hi, Max. I'm currently on a remote road in North Wales. And I heard all of the Arsenal fans in North London scream, no, when Barry just announced how easy it was going to be against West Ham this afternoon.
How do you think it will go? I know how you want it to go.
You can just see, I don't know, like what I don't like about, obviously I'm pleased Tottenham won 2 games in a row. I'm just a bit wary that everyone's just said, they'll be fine. Because it's just not, football's not that simple, right? Leeds are quite good. Tottenham's home record is terrible. West Ham could, Arsenal have had games where they've been a bit flat, haven't managed to turn it on. They lost to Bournemouth. I know Bournemouth are better than West Ham, but they are capable. They weren't great against Newcastle, who aren't great. And so,
I think the Arsenal that we've been watching since they lost against Manchester City at the Etihad in the league, I think this Arsenal is a completely different animal to the Arsenal before that game. And I'm not the biggest Arteta fan in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think he is to be admired for the way he seems to have galvanised his players, galvanised the fans, got them all pulling in the same direction when it looked like it was going to end in tears, not that long ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Obviously, Bukayo Saka's back as well. Victor Gyökeres has hit his straps really well in the last 5-6 weeks. I just can't see them not winning today. I cannot see it.
This text says, I agree with the penalty before the game. I think we should do the same in the Premier League next year with Man City, and every team gets 150 penalties before kick-off. It's Max and Barry with you on the warm-up, brought to you with Travis Perkins. With Pay As You Go Higher from Travis Perkins, you don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. We'll get half-times in the Old Firm and Liverpool-Brighton in the Women's FA Cup semi-final. Team news from Burnley and from Palace and from Forest as well.
Jason Cunny was alongside Jeremy O'Hara on the Sports Bar after the game. He said he can see Arsenal shutting PSG down in the final.
Teta will not allow a basketball match. He won't. He won't.
Is it going to be a tactically defence then?
No, it won't be tactically defence, but I think that Arsenal, they're measured. Arsenal control games. They don't. Arsenal are brilliant at doing that. They can be at times dull to watch because of that, but in a one-off game, who cares? I think Luis Enrique would probably want it being more open affair. I don't think Arteta will allow it.
Not the game we were expecting last night. You pointed out there, I said over 4.5 goals. I did think they're a bit well done to PSG and Luis Enrique for shutting out the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that proved there's another side to them, right?
Yeah, they can dig in when they need to. It helps they've got wonderful footballers, and I guess when you get a goal so early after 3 minutes with that attacking front line, it doesn't make the job easier, but when you've got the pace of Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, Doué can run, you've got Vitinha in the middle of the park, it does help the fact that you could just sit in there and defend, because the counter-attack, no one's catching you. You're being behind them. So, yeah, it's gonna be fascinating now to see what happens in the final. PSG was probably the team I didn't want. I'd prefer Bayern. But now it's PSG. You've got to go out there and put a performance in. It's going to be difficult. And I've said it before. I think Arsenal, to win this fixture, potentially may have to be perfect in terms of they may have to put in the best performance they've ever put in under Mikel Arteta in any competition.
Is that the only way you can see Arsenal winning, by playing the best they've ever played?
I think they have to think defensively. They have to be rock solid. No,
they are pretty much like that anyway.
Yeah, but there's still times you give it. Like if you give that sawed-off opportunity to Dembele, he ain't missing that.
No, you're right.
Good afternoon. You're listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Good afternoon, Max and Charlie. This one says it's Max and Barry, but we're interchangeable. Trevor the Trucker here. I was thinking if Spurs had 115 penalties against City next year, they'd easily double their total distance run for the team that game. It is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30. We'll get the team news from Burnley, Villa, and from Palace, Everton, and from Forest, Newcastle in just a second. We'll get the latest on Liverpool, Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final, 2-1 to Liverpool last time we heard, and from Celtic Rangers as well. We can start with the team news from Selhurst Park, Palace versus Everton, and the Ricardo Vazte hero. James Fielden has the team news.
Yeah, thanks. It's 2 changes for Palace from their game against Shakhtar here on Thursday that took them to the Conference League final. Brennan Johnson and Jurgen Strand-Larsen come in as Jeremy Pino and Jean-Philippe Mateta rotate to the bench. Everton keep the same side. They're unchanged from the team that drew 3-3 with Manchester City on Monday. So it's Henderson in goal, Richards, Lacroix and Convo at the back for Palace. Munoz, Wharton, Kamada and Mitchell across midfield. Sarr, Strand-Larsen and Johnson in the front line for Palace. Pickford in goal for Everton. O'Brien, Tarkowski, Keane and Mikolenko. Eric Boonham and Garnett in front with Roll, Dewsbury Hall and Njai off Beto. I have to say, Max, I'm sorry because I've been alerted that when we were playing the football again that I actually wasn't here when you first crossed to me. There was a reason for that. A steward stopped me and was insistent I waited until the Everton backroom staff had walked past, so I was held up in my attempts to get to the football again. But
no, that's fine.
It won't happen again.
You're totally forgiven. And I guess Everton still harbour ambitions for Europe, don't they? That's Palace are fine and they have bigger fish to fry. And this is all about Everton and trying to get into those European spots.
It is. I mean, they're in 10th at the moment, 48. They're only 5 points behind Brighton. Obviously, with this, their game in hand to take it back to 2. But I think they're going to have to be near faultless in their other games. They've got Sunderland at home after this and then finish at Spurs on the final day, which, you never really know at this stage what that game is going to mean for Tottenham and maybe Everton by that point. But interestingly for Palace as well, I mean, they're not safe. If they win today, they definitely are. But they've got Arsenal on the final day, 3 days before their Conference League final. They've got City away in the week. You can probably rule out both of those games in terms of getting too many points. And then they've got this, and they've got to go to Brentford in their other games. Brentford are obviously going to be gunning for Europe. So it's actually quite an important game for Palace, which is to think why Glasnow's gone quite so strong after, the events of Thursday. So interesting for both sides.
Thank you, James. Let's go to the City Ground. Forest versus Newcastle. Jeff Peters watching for talkSPORT. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Forest make 4 changes from Thursday's heavy defeat in the Europa League at Villa. Ortega, Hutchinson, McAtee and Wood drop to the bench. It's Sells in goal, looks like a back 5 of Cunha, Milenkovic, Morato, Nets and Williams. Then Dominguez, Anderson, Bakwa, Awonyi and Igor Jesus. Not in the squad, Gibbs, White, Hudson-Odoi, Sangare, Murillo and Doy and Aina. Newcastle ended a run of 4 league defeats by beating Brighton last weekend. Lewis Miley out with a broken leg, sustained in training this week. Willock is benched. Hall and Voltemade come in. Pope in goal. Chow, Botman, Byrne and Hall. Guimaraes and Tonali, Murphy, Joe Linton, Voltemade and Osula. 2 p.m. at the City Ground, Forest and Newcastle.
A great shame for Lewis Miley. Jeff, do you sort of think Forest need they are basic, they should be fine, right? Tottenham and West Ham would have to do something really special to both get past how many points they have. But since they've got Man United away and Bournemouth at home, who could really be going for Champions League football, it puts a little bit of pressure on this game for Forest.
Yeah, there is a little bit of pressure, of course, and they'll want to perform as well after the disappointment of Thursday night. But they've been excellent in the Premier League in recent weeks, 3 wins in a row, 4 in the last 5. So they're almost there. They might not need another point to be safe, but they'll want to finish the season with a flourish, because it's not really hit the heights of what they had last season, notwithstanding getting to a European semi-final. They're almost there. Win today and absolutely fine. But obviously, they're missing so many players. They are running out of steam, but I think they'll be absolutely fine, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Thanks, Jeff. Let's go back to the old firm. It's half-time. Celtic Rangers, David Tanner.
And it's Celtic 1, Rangers 1. The old firm drew back-to-back League and League Cup games at Ibrox in March, and this one has been every bit as level. Rangers scored first after just 9 minutes. Luke McCowan lost possession for Celtic on their right. Yusuf Chamiti had an effort blocked. He laid it off to Mikey Moore, who scored his 7th goal of the season and his 2nd of this campaign, scored at Celtic Park. Celtic equalised in the middle of the first half. It was Yang who got the goal, his 10th of the season, a low cross from the right, and Yang powered the ball through a ruck of players, a ruck of blue and green jerseys. The goal did survive a VAR check for offside interfering with play. Remember, both sides need a win with the league, with just 2 league games left after today. As it stands, Hearts could win the title on Wednesday night if they beat Falkirk at home at Tynecastle and Celtic don't win Motherwell. That's the situation as it stands. For now, though, Celtic will be hoping to win this one in the second half. It's Celtic 1, Rangers 1.
Thank you, David. Let's go back to Matt Jones, who's watching the semi-final in the Women's FA Cup, Liverpool versus Brighton. Hey, Matt.
5 minutes to go until the break. It's still Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. Brighton had a little bit of pressure after getting that 1 goal back, but all it really amounted to was a rule header that was saved at the back post by Falcon. Since then, Liverpool have wrestled the momentum back, and they've just hit the bar as well. Benaib, the fullback, it fell to her on the edge of the area from a corner. She sent the shot in, and it hit the top of the bar and went to safety. So 5 minutes to go until half-time. Liverpool 2, Brighton 1.
Thanks, Matt. Paul's been in touch, Perry, to say, Max, can I get a shout-out for my son Arthur, who should be at Wembley with his Uncle Craig right by now for the playoff final? Paul, the Rochdale fan for a day in Rochdale. Yes, you will remember Rochdale at that game against York City for winner takes all. And they are playing Boreham Wood in the playoff final to get in the Football League. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff at Wembley. And I suspect, Barry, I mean, with all due respect to Boreham Wood and the Moose, who supports them, I think, a little bit, I think most people would feel like Rochdale deserve their chance in the Football League after what happened at the end of that game and how they did over the whole season.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arthur. So is Arthur at this playoff final? Or?
Arthur's there with Uncle Craig.
Okay, well, I hope Arthur and Uncle Craig have a very nice day. And I've been to see Sunderland lose a playoff final. I've seen them win one. And losing a playoff final is horrible. I think it's worse than losing a cup final. But because I've seen Sunderland lose cup finals as well. But yeah, if your team wins a playoff, it's just a great day. So
yeah, I'm 1-2 lost 2. That's my record. Beating Chesterfield in the first ever playoff final at Wembley, 1990, 1-0, Dion header. Then Cambridge lost 2 in a row to get out of the conference. This game we lost to Torquay and then we lost to Exeter, or the other way around. I can't remember. And then we beat Gateshead, and we had 10 men because all our some we got injured. We'd done all our subs, and injury time was about 15 minutes against Gateshead. And God, if we hadn't scored, they were all over us, and it was just absolutely exhausting. So yeah, good luck to Rochdale and to Boreham Wood this afternoon, 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll get the team news from Burnley Villa in a second. Oh, he's there. Mickey Gray is there. I don't know what you've been doing, Mickey, but we finally got you. Give us the team news. Hey, pal.
It's 6 changes for Mike Jackson's Burnley after their latest defeat to Leeds. Dubravka, Ekdal, Humphreys, Hartman, Lauren and Ward-Prowse all miss out. Weiss, Pires, Twanzebe, Florentino, Mesbury and Ugachukwu come into the starting 11. It's Weiss in goal, Twanzebe, Estevez, the 2 centre-halves, Pires and Walker as your centre-back, your right-back and full-back. Florentino, Mesbury and Ugachukwu are your 3 in midfield with Chowner, Anthony either side of Zian Fleming. Only 3 changes for Aston Villa after their Thursday win against Forest. Torres, Digne and Buendina miss out. In come Mings, Matson and Barkley. It's Martinez in goal with Cash, Conson, Mings and Matson as a back 4. Tielemans and Lindelof in midfield with McGinn, Rogers, Barkley in behind Ollie Watkins. From Turf Moor, it's Burnley against Aston Villa.
I don't know the lines are like at Burnley, but the reason it took him a bit of a delay is because he went back to 1972 to deliver that report, like old radio to John Inverdale on Radio 2. That was good fun, wasn't it? Thank you, Mickey. It's Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Chesney Hawks, West Ham fan, will join us in just a second, and we'll find out how agonising he's finding this wait to play Arsenal this afternoon. And Justin Morehouse joins us to guess the attendance too.
Let me apologise immediately if there's any smugness or glee from my co-host today. But you are used to Alex Crook by now. But Gabby Agbonlahor is also very happy. Put your cigar down. Great performance. Yeah. Well done. Congratulations.
Very much, thank you.
Do you reckon you could manage to be just a little bit humble because, you haven't won anything?
Yeah, we haven't won anything yet, but, Nottingham Forest fans, last Friday, the messages you were reading out, Sam, the callers, the direct messages on every possible social media platform I was getting, celebrating the fireworks. They had a concert after the game, only to get thumped on probably the most one-sided semi-final second leg you will ever see. Thumped. Couldn't get out of their own half. Light work for Aston Villa. Who's next?
I heard you having a go at the Arsenal fans this week, and Arsenal for having fireworks after they'd got through to the final in Budapest. I noticed, and I had pointed it out to you at least 3 times this week, that Villa have fireworks before every game, and they had fireworks before the semi-final last
fireworks, night. Mate. They're like sparklers that you have on your champagne when you're in a nightclub.
Might be on your champagne.
Yeah, they weren't fireworks. They're like little ones. What did the manager do after the game?
I don't know.
Emery?
It was definitely.
He clapped the fans for about 3 seconds and walked down the tunnel.
Okay, well, it was a champagne performance, wasn't it?
Was doing the Haymack Arena around the stadium. They're doing a tour of the stadium. You know?
He's quite used to getting to Europa League finals, so that's probably
okay.
Is there not a small part of you that is worried that your legendary status is going to be diminished even further? Because surely you have to win something to be a legend at a football club.
I totally agree.
On November the 1st, 2017, the Houston Astros won their first ever Major League Baseball World Series. Just 4 years earlier, they'd lost 111 games in a season. Now they were champions. But the Astros' victory was very quickly tainted in one of the biggest cheating scandals in the sport's history. In baseball, the catcher gives hand signals or signs to tell the pitcher what pitch to throw. The batters team always try to observe those signs and decode them. They're fine to use their eyes, but using technology, that's banned. So the Astros beat the LA Dodgers in the World Series. They all look so happy, don't they? But later, one of the Astros players went to the press admitting they'd used a camera on the field to steal signs. It caused shockwaves. An MLB investigation then confirmed it. The Astros had been filming their opponents' catchers and sending a live feed to a monitor near the dugout where players decoded the signs. To tell the batters on the field, this was the plan. Yep, they banged on a trash can. Pretty rudimentary. No bang meant a fastball was coming. One or more bangs meant an off-speed pitch. Their batters had grabbed a huge advantage. The sport responded with fury. The Astros were fined $5 million, the maximum allowed. They lost first and second round draft picks for 2 seasons. Manager AJ Hinch and general manager Jeff Luhnow were suspended for a year and then fired by the team anyway. None of the Astros players were punished, but they got the message.
We heard Mike Trout talk yesterday, and to hear that you've lost respect from the best player in the game like that hurts. That hurts.
Rival fans were livid. 10 out of 10 for the kid in the yellow. They wanted the Astros World Series title to be stripped. And with other cheating sagas happening around that time too, MLB was under the cosh.
I think that trust is something that has to be earned or earned back.
It will be remembered as one of the biggest scandals in baseball history. And while the Astros kept their title, in the minds of so many, it will always be a tarnished one.
Good afternoon. You are listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Musician Chesney Hawks joining us in just a second. Guess the attendance with Justin Morehouse. Yes, Barry.
I take exception to your description of Chesney as a musician. The man is a national treasure. He's an icon.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's so much more than a musician.
I understand. I
could clank a teaspoon against my knee, and I'm a musician.
No, I understand. Oh, am I? But I was just going to. Well, we can talk to him. We can find out how he likes to be. Would you, Chesney? Welcome. Would you rather icon, national treasure, musician? What's your intro of choice?
I was a little bit worried when you said I take exception to him being called a musician. Where's he going with this?
No, I wouldn't dream of insulting you, Chesney. I'm a big fan here. I'm slightly starstruck, and I'm not often starstruck. I won't lie.
Oh, bless you. Don't worry about that. But you're an Arsenal man, aren't you? So
no, I'm a Sunderland man.
No, I said come on Arsenal, Chesney, because
it was
Tottenham are my big team. Tottenham are my big team who win things, right? So I don't want Arsenal to ever win a football match. Really, I'm not an Arsenal hater. Right. I'm too old and bored to hate things, but I just can't have. I just don't need Tottenham to go down. And obviously, you do need Tottenham to go down, Chesney, because it's basically you or us.
It's a two-horse race. It has been for at least 10 days.
That was a terrible weekend for you, wasn't it? That last weekend was so bad.
I feel like we've been through the ringer as West Ham fans, because obviously I think over the last kind of 3 months or so we've actually done all right. We're playing really well, and in actually as in form we're probably up there in top 6 really. But as you say, that weekend just gone. And we were all very hopeful and buoyant, and actually quite excited in a weird way. But yeah, after that, forget it. It brought us all back down to earth for sure.
Yeah, and then it's so funny, isn't it, when you get to this stage and you're engaging in what team the opposition, your rivals are playing. So when you saw that Villa had made all those changes, you must have just thought that, come on, you were just like, you swines.
I mean, they've ruined everyone's fun, haven't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, listen, look, I totally understand the real groundswell from everyone to want Tottenham to get relegated. Because, West Ham get relegated quite a lot. It's not interesting.
Yeah, we've been there. We've been there. It's nothing new. But I thought that would work in our favour, to be honest with you. But, we'll see. Hey, listen, there's still 3 games left here, and football, anything can happen, right?
Chesney, there was a time earlier this season, I think you just got battered by Wolves, and not many teams have been battered by Wolves this season,
I think,
where you just look dead and buried. So are you surprised, or were you surprised that Nuno has been able to get a tune out of West Ham since taking over?
Yeah, I as you say, it didn't look good at all, but he's definitely pulled it around. And I think those, Tati and Pablo, and when they came in, I think it really, really helped. And of course, getting Somerville back fit again has helped us. But yeah, I mean, surprised isn't the word. I was hopeful, and I think if we go down, we're going to be the best team in the championship. But of course, who knows how many of those players are going to end up going off to other places? Because it is a devastating thing for a Premier League club to go down. It's you never know if anyone's going to stay.
Yeah. Arsenal today. Arsenal are quite good, Chesney.
Yeah,
but
I've heard.
I don't know if you're I presume you're a natural optimist. I mean, maybe you're not, but I presume, like in life, you sort of wake up and think this could be a good day. I'm not basing that on very much, so maybe you're not. But do you go in with optimism today?
I mean, you have to. I mean, the thing is, there's 2 ways to look at it. You could go in thinking we're not going to get anything out of this, and then you're not going to be too disappointed when we don't. But then I've always got that thought in my head. It's classic West Ham that we'd, not do very well against Brentford and then, go and beat Arsenal. You just never know, do you? I mean, we're going to be fighting for our lives, that's for sure. I mean, we literally are fighting for our lives. This game here has really kind of come down to this game, isn't it? And it's a weird thing because Arsenal are not going to want to they're going to want Spurs to go down, but of course they're not going to, underplay it because because they're hoping to win the league. So it's this weird triangular thing. I wonder how Declan Rice feels about it too, because obviously, our boy Declan, if he beats us today, he's probably going to be sending his old club down.
And look, walking around the stadium, sort of apologising to people as he goes off. Yeah,
I'm still waiting for him to apologise to the people of Ireland for jumping ship and going to play for England. So, you'll be a long time waiting for him to apologise, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll celebrate. I remember the first time that Arsenal played West Ham and beat us, and he didn't celebrate when he scored against us, didn't he? He didn't celebrate. He just kind of kept it cool. And I honestly, I think he'll probably be like that if that happens, which I hope.
Mufti says, hi, Max and Barry. Can you please ask Chesney if he's still following the Curfews, the mighty Chertsey Town FC, who finished in their highest ever league position this year? Did you ever follow Chertsey? Are you still following Chertsey, Chesney?
Well, I'm a bit of a Chertsey boy, actually. So, yeah, of course. I mean, if there's going to be a second team, it's going to be Chertsey because they're basically my local team. They've done very well, very, very well. As he lifts his West Ham mug up.
No. I didn't realise, this text says, I didn't realise Chesney Hawks was a West Ham fan. Is there any chance of a team up with Steve Harris of Iron Maiden for an Iron supporting supergroup? I don't know if we could make that happen, Chesney, but are you interested?
Oh yeah, no, I'll take that any day, mate. So if he's listening, I'm up for that. Let's do it.
Chesney, you're obviously an England fan, and I believe you were at the Qatar World Cup. Have performing in the fan zone and became something of a lucky charm for England. Will you be going to the World Cup this summer? Have you managed to get yourself a gig?
Yeah, I'm working on that. My manager James, he's actually been on talkSPORT a few times with you guys. He managed to get me the gig at the last one. So he needs to get his finger out because I haven't heard anything yet. So come on, James, make it so.
It's your summer. I mean, presumably your summer is pretty packed, right? Or would you clear it for the World Cup?
Well, I mean, if that came along, obviously we'd have to think about it. But it is the beginning of festival season, lads. So it's like I'm now travelling field to field.
Right, and like has that?
You're like a medieval knight
in a chariot. So is this? I mean, how many years have you been doing like the festival every summer? Is this like since you got big originally, or is it like this is a sort of renaissance?
It is a little bit of a renaissance. I mean, I never really stopped playing and making music, but this last year or so has been a really big renaissance. My last album did really well, and I just finished a headline tour. So, yeah, it's actually really good times for me right now. Shame I can't say the same for my football club.
No, of course. And do you like we purposely didn't want to just play the one and only. Everyone said, just play that. Do you own that? Because I've interviewed bands who are like, I don't want to talk about this song. Like you're making new music, like you are more than just one song, of course. Do you like, and it's great that last album did well, right? That must be really gratifying.
Yeah, amazing.
That you can keep making music, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have, as you could imagine, boys, I've had ups and downs with that song over the years, but
of course.
But it's the reason that I'm sitting here talking to you now, and I never forget that. And the truth is, that song has gone off to make connections with people that are nothing to do with me, and I'm very proud of that. And it's a beautiful thing. And whenever I play that song live, it seems to go down all right. So yeah, I think I'll keep it in the set.
Sensational song. I mean, interviewing you and not mentioning it would be like talking to Neil Armstrong and not mentioning the moon. It would be almost willfully contrary,
Yeah, I get it. I totally do.
The question, though, is would you give up that song ever existing? I'll make you an offer. I'm going to say 40 appearances for West Ham. You didn't set the world alight, but you still put the shirt on 40 times. You taking that? Or does it have to be you were in the team that won the Conference League, or you were in the 78? When did you win the FA Cup? I forget the year.
80.
80 was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which? At what point do you go? Do you know what? I'll give up that. I'll give up that song on my whole career.
That is
do you
a
need
tough
an FA Cup medal?
Yeah. Well, the truth is, music is always going to be my first love, and I don't think I could have lived my life without that. But I would have given a lot for sure to pulled on a West Ham shirt for sure.
Chesney, can I ask what age are you?
I'm 54 summers young.
It. Oh, God, the three of us.
You look the exact same as you did, whatever,
I've got
30 years ago.
I have a whole team of makeup artists and lighting,
That isn't fair. Suddenly I really dislike Chesney Hawks for looking. I'm only 47. Like, I haven't got. My hair's white. My hair is whiter than Jim White's hair. It's ridiculous.
You look gorgeous, Pet.
Oh, well, you're very kind. It's very kind of you to say that. Give us a prediction for the game today, Chesney.
Well, I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham. I know that is very optimistic, but if we're going to win it, I think we're going to just about scrape it, if you know what I mean. So I think there'll be a lot of the time in our half of the field, I presume. So yeah, I'm gonna say we're going to nick it because Arsenal are going to bottle it. It's what they do, isn't it?
They can. Thank you, Chesney. Thanks for coming on. It's lovely to talk to you.
Thank you, Chesney. Pleasure.
Thanks for having me, guys. Cheers.
Chesney Hawks there, icon, national treasure, musician. And there's been a goal in the old firm, David Tanner.
It's into the second half. It's Celtic 2, Rangers 1. Celtic ahead for the first time in the game, and it's a fourth goal in 5 games scored by Dyson Myra. It was a long ball forward. Kieran Tierney hit the byline, threw in a cross, and Myra flew in and poked the ball home from inside the 6-yard box. Terrific goal by the one and only Dyson Myra. Celtic ahead for the first time in the Old Firm game.
Very well done, David. Yeah, God, the stress of being a Hearts fan right now, it's just too much, isn't it? One of a really good friend of mine is a massive Hearts fan, and he just cannot cope with what is happening this season. It's Max and Barry on the warm-up, brought to you with Travis Perkins. Go big on landscaping with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need at travisperkins.co.uk. Justin Morehouse will join us for guest attendance in just a...
Content creator and Palace fan Ollie Thomas is with us this morning. A very good morning to you, Ollie. How are you?
Morning, Ollie.
Morning. I'm good. I'm a bit tired, as you can imagine, but I'm good. And thanks, Dean. You're right. We are the best fans in the world.
It's debatable. It's debatable, Ollie. I'm joking. I have a soft spot for Palace. My sister plays for Palace. They just got promoted, and fair play to them. Your manager. The fact that he is leaving and he might win a third trophy before he goes is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's obviously sad that he's going, but I think it could have turned a bit sour and did turn a bit sour at the start of the calendar year. And fair play to Steve Parish, who held his own and didn't sack him. And it's now kind of become a nice send-off. And I think everyone wants to win it for Glasner as well, rather than it being like a bitter goodbye, I suppose. I think we've channeled that departure really well. And yeah, I'm feeling confident. It's weird watching a Palace team that just repeatedly turns up in big games. Like, I'm just not used to it. Every single big game we've basically ever had under Glasner, we've turned up, played really well. So hopefully we can do it one more time.
Why do you think he's leaving the club? I'm trying to work it out myself. Because he must realise that
wasn't
Palace
guaranteed. They got rid of the best players and they didn't replace them. And he'd won trophies, and they still hadn't got that right. Would that be it, Ollie? Would you think he was frustrated with how the club has been run?
Yeah, I think so. He basically did exactly the same thing when he was at Wolfsburg and Frankfurt. Like, the timelines are very similar in terms of he comes to a club, starts really well, does really well, and then falls out with the board. And he's been obviously very open about the fact that he didn't think we should have sold Eze, didn't think we should have sold Gahey, or at least when we sold them.
Good afternoon, it's Max and Barry with you on the warm-up until 1:30. Guess the attendance with Justin Morehouse in just a second. Before that, back to David Tanner. Some goal in the Old Firm.
2 goals in 2 minutes for Celtic and 2 goals in 2 minutes for Dyson Maeda. It's now Celtic 3, Rangers 1. We've played an hour, and what a goal it was too. Connor Barron of Rangers couldn't clear a cross. Maeda knocked the ball up in the air, and then with his back to goal, picked the top corner of the net. If you think of Scott McTominay's goal for Scotland against Denmark, it's right up there with that. It's his 14th of the season, but after a 17-game run without scoring a goal, he's now scored 5 goals in 5 games, Dyson Maeda. And that means that Celtic now, as it stands, move to within 1 point of Hearts with 2 games to go. We've got half an hour to go in the Old Firm game. It's Celtic who were behind 3, Rangers 1.
Of course, Celtic playing Hearts on the last game of the season. Thank you, David. Yeah, some goal. It's like a lob. I mean, it's an amazing finish from Maeda there. Anyway, just time for Guess the Attendance today. Top journalist Barry Glendenning takes on top comedian Justin Morehouse. Welcome to the programme, Justin.
Hello, listen, we have just been, me and the talkSPORT boffins, the tech gurus, the men behind the throne, who spent the last 5 minutes trying to get a good signal so you can get pictures of me. You find me in a yard behind a pub amongst the bins, a bit like in an 80s American cop drama. Something would be going down here now. I'm driving today from Sunderland, where I went to watch Manchester United yesterday, to Bury St Edmunds, where I'm performing tonight, and I've stopped off halfway to watch Celtic, who I have a soft spot for. And whilst I was doing that, 2 goals went in.
Wow, well, that's very good of you. You
never ask about my commitment. You never ask about my commitment. Never ask about my, you know, the thing that the fight for guest attendance. I'm a stalwart.
No, I understand that. And also, you're whispering, in my mind, you're spying on Middlesbrough training. That's what it sounds like to me. A man who whispers this quietly is clearly you're checking Luke Ayling's set pieces. If he's still in Middlesbrough, I can't remember all these things. Okay, well, thank you, Justin. We appreciate your commitment. When you get to Bury St Edmunds, it may not exist anymore, but Rollerberry is where I learned to roller skate, and that's important. So let's begin.
I have to say that
it could be.
Among the bins behind a pub seems more like my natural habitat. I mean, Justin isn't a drinker.
Not Barry 2.0, not runner Barry.
Not Barry Wilson Kipketer Glendenning. Yes, in your natural habitat. It's the David Attenborough's latest, his final documentary will be Barry in his natural habitat.
Skip behind the pub.
Right.
Now we find him full of regrets and vodka.
No, I don't do top shelf, Justin.
In any meaning of the word. Let's go to the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 0, Manchester United 0. Justin was there. Barry's a Sunderland fan. It's a huge one to start with. Stuart Atwell of Warwickshire refereed the game. But Justin, how many were there?
Maybe somebody about 4 people actually said, how many's here today then, mate? How many's here? You know what? Because of the purity of the game, I didn't even try and find out.
Good.
Is it 32,000?
32,000.
Ooh,
Barry.
I'm tempted to showboat.
Go on then.
Justin was there looking at the people.
I know he was there. Well, unless there's something going on up there that I'm not aware of, I'm going to say 41,000.
Oh, I got it right out of my head. Yeah.
47,230. Such is the purity. You closed your eyes for the whole afternoon.
No, do you know what? You know what was in my head then? Middlesbrough. Because you just said Middlesbrough before.
Yeah.
And they're very
but
similar.
then I said Sunderland.
They're both small towns in the northeast.
I understand. But you were at the game, Justin. That may be the worst guess of all time, since you were actually in the stadium looking at all the people. But we move on. Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in the playoffs on Friday night. How many, Barry, were at the MKM Stadium? Gavin Ward of Surrey refereed this one.
I have been in the MKM Stadium. I have no idea what the capacity is. I'm going to say 28,000.
Oh, 27,999.
24,623. Okay, it's one apiece. And now, Justin, we go to the Riverside Stadium. Maybe So look, see if you can think of Middlesbrough now. Middlesbrough 0, Southampton 0. Spygate 2.0. Farah Alam of rugby refereed the game, but how many were there, Justin?
26,750.
Right, I'm going to say excluding people from Southampton hiding in bushes watching through binoculars, I'm going to say 26,752.
32,045. What I don't understand, Justin, is when you thought of Middlesbrough originally, you guessed 32,000. You were pretty much spot on. You were only 45 out when you were thinking of them. And when you actually had to think of them, you were another 6,000 out. But, you're 2-1. You're still in the game, unbelievably.
I'm doing 18 hours of driving this week. I just think I'm...
you the level of performance.
I tried to use chronology there in a really bad way. To be honest with you, I've also spotted some embarrassed people spying on me this week.
Oh, really? Okay, I understand. Yeah, I can imagine. One of Barry's men in disguise at your training ground, at your guess the attendance training ground. We go to another one in the northeast, so this could help you. Who knows, Justin? It's not your get. Barry's
not so far.
South Shields 0, Kidderminster Harriers 2. This was the National League North Promotion Playoff Final, the First Cloud Arena. So that may have not been a home game. I don't know where the First Cloud Arena is. That's all the information I've got. Well done to Kiddy for getting promoted. The referee, anonymous official from parts unknown. But how many were there to watch South Shields 0, Kidderminster Harriers 2, Barry?
I'll go 7,500.
So I'll go 7,499, and the 10,000 to Showboat was immense.
3,628. It's 2 apiece as we enter the final minute of the programme. And we go, as we always want to be 2 apiece and to your Achilles heel. We go to Ockleview Park. Ewan Anderson of Dumbarton refereed Stenhousemuir 2, Queen of the South 2. Stenhousemuir winning 4-3 on penalties in the Scottish Championship semi-final playoffs. But how many were there at Ockleview Park for this one, Justin?
5,000.
4,999.
1,178.
Over.
It's over. Get yourself. Just get in one of the bins. Get in a bin.
I'm on the beach already.
Yeah, you're on the beach and get in a bin. Thank you, Justin.
Bye.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, listeners.
Yes, thank you, Travis Perkins. Sam Matterface, Perry Groves with you on Game Day Live.
To join Arsenal was the biggest achievement in my career, but the way the things end up was a little bit not nasty. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. They are happy. They know, you know what, life goes on. If you ask me if I regret, I don't regret. But I'm happy also giving them something back, because at the end of the day, if I can't represent and defend my parents, I don't know who would do it for me. So it's kind of doing my job.
You're spot on, Emmanuel. I don't blame you at all. I would have done the same, mate.
Thank you.
Looking at the title race, Manchester City messing up against Everton. How do you think it's going to go? Who do you think will win it in the end?
Who do I think will win it? If you ask me today, I will still tell